Welcome back to Prosperous Living with T. It says Manifesting Wednesdays. It's about realizing your desires and recognizing that there's nothing to do, there's only to be. There's only to decide. Decide that it's yours and keep deciding that it's yours. So simple, right? So simple, we want to complicate it. We think we have to add something to it. But the script is real simple. Therefore, I say to you, whatever you desire when you pray, believe you received it and you shall have it. In prayers, recognition, acknowledgement, speaking those things that be not as though they were. That's the only requirement, is to speak it, to say it, to choose it, and then not to speak against it. Let your eye be single, and your whole body will fill with light. Light, you will be given understanding. You will be given peace. You will be given rest from worry, from doubt, from fear, from limitation. That's the power you have, the power of choice. You get to decide. It's your thoughts that are creative. You're the only thinker. So whatever you're deciding for yourself, you can most certainly have. And then live your life in freedom of, I don't even have to figure this out. That part will be done for me. Hey, Latasik. That's okay. Welcome. Your subconscious mind is already programmed. It's programmed by what you give your attention to. Your subconscious mind is the memory bank, and it only cares about what you talk about, what you give your focus to. That's all the subconscious mind. It's not judging you. It's just listening to you. It's paying attention to what you're giving your attention to. Say, oh, you like that. How does it know you like that? That you want more of that? Because you talk about it. So give your attention, your focus to the thing wanted, and the subconscious mind is your genie in the bottle. Just got to know how to rub it the right way. If you want to be with me, there is a price to pay. I'm your genie in a bottle. You got to rub me the right way. What's the price to pay? Attention. Attention is the price that you pay to get that genie in a bottle to give you exactly what you say. Yes. So you made it. Welcome, Chrissy. It's not even about programming the subconscious mind. It's just about commanding, deciding, right? Right? It's just about giving your attention to what you want to see, what you want to experience. And your subconscious mind says, yes, your wish is my command. What are you talking about again? Oh, abundance. You're talking about abundance. Ooh, okay. Keep talking about abundance. Oh, yes. And then the moment you say, but, and the subconscious mind is like, yup, but what? Because it's listening. But what? What you got to say? What do you have to say? It's listening. But I don't know how it's going to happen. You're exactly right. You don't know how. Now what? But it's taking too long. You're exactly right. It's taking too long. Now what? But this is so hard. You're exactly right. It's hard. So now what? Subconscious is just listening. It's just going to do your bidding. It's not going to question you. Yes, spiritual king of wisdom. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, Christina Aguilera. The price we pay for any desire is attention. Your attention is the sap of life. And what's your attention? Your mental diet. What are you feasting upon? What are your thoughts? So you want to just decide what you want, drop it, and then go your way in peace. But we have a tendency to think we have to try to make it grow. And so we like, ooh, let me talk about it. Let me think about it. Let me think it through. And there's nothing wrong with talking about it, right? But for many people, when they talk about their desire, they talk about it as though they don't have it. That's what I say, don't talk about it then. If you're going to talk about it like you don't have it, don't talk about it. When you talk about it, you need to talk about it as though it's already there, not as though it's not there. That's why you don't need to talk about it. If you can't talk about it first person present tense, then why are you talking about it? That's why you just drop the seed in the soil. Just drop it. Choose your desire. That's your seed. And then release it. Take it out of your hand. You gotta drop it. So it can grow. So it can come into your experience. So you don't have to worry about anything. You don't even have to think about anything. You just let it happen. Just allow it to show up. You know? It's so simple. But we like to complicate it. We want to complicate it. We want to make it difficult for ourselves because we're just like, that's not what we were told. We were told faith without works is dead. I got to work. I got to work. You got to be like Rihanna. Work, 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 work. Work, 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 work. All right? The only work you were supposed to do was choose. That was your only work. I set before you, I call heaven and earth before you. And I set before you good and evil, life and death. Choose life. That's the only work you were to do, was to just make a choice. That's it. What do you want? As the Christ asked whoever came near, he came to him, what would you have me do for you? What do you want of me? Oh, I want to be able to see. Can you feed me? Can you cure me? Like, right? And then what did he say? Your wish is my command. It's done unto you as you believe. Your faith has made sure. Do you believe I can do this? Oh, yes, I believe you can do it. That was it. It was no go give 10% of whatever you got to the Pharisees and the Sadducees. Go to, go do this work before I'm going to bless you. Nope. He just asked, what do you want? And then they told him. And then he said, it's yours. See how easy that was? That was so simple. What would you have of me? Oh, I want this. Oh, really? You got it. Do you believe I can do it? I most certainly do. I believe you can do it. Okay, then it's done. Your faith has made you whole. Go your way in peace. Sin no more. Which means stop doubting. That's all sin means. Stop doubting. When he says go and sin no more, he's telling you stop being limited. Stop operating from the five senses. Stop operating from doubt and fear and limitation. Go and sin no more. Stop missing the mark. That's it. You're just supposed to say what you want, and then that's it. And then know that you can have it. This is where faith is required, right? Because your five senses is going to tell you, but it's not there. And how are you going to get it, right? Those little devils and demons and Satan, oh my. Yeah, those thoughts that try to come up and tell you, that's not how it works. You just can't ask for it and you think you're going to get it right. You don't know the right people. You don't have the right education. you don't even know no millionaires. And they say the 5 people closest to you is your bank account, right? Like, and you don't know no rich people. So what make you think you're gonna be rich? Because the world tell you gotta know millionaires in order to be one. Really? Really? Now, if that ain't the biggest lie, telling people that the only way you could be a millionaire is you gotta know millionaires. Really? Come on now. You know that isn't true. But that's the limitation. People really think that you have to know someone, or be around the thing that you want to be. No, you just have to see yourself as being it. That's the only requirement. People that work in banks are around money all the damn time. That does not make them rich. That does not make them billionaires and millionaires. People work for people with billions and millions. That just because they're around them doesn't make them a billionaire. So this whole thing of, oh, you just got to be around it. People are around it every day. And it wasn't like osmosis and they became millionaires unless they changed their mindset. Unless they were inspired around those people, by being around those people. I'm not saying you can't become a millionaire by being but it's not a requirement. It's not a requirement. The only requirement is seeing yourself as the person you desire to be, to say, I am that I am. I don't care if I've never met a millionaire. I don't care if I've never rubbed elbows with a millionaire or a billionaire. That doesn't mean you can't also be one. And making that a requirement is just limiting you, because you're saying it must happen this way. Well, the only way I can get it, I got to give me a millionaire mentor, or I got to get me a billionaire mentor. Really? Why are you limiting consciousness? Why are you putting limitations on yourself, saying that it must come from this in this way? Nobody knows the day or the hour when the manifestation shall appear. No one can tell you that. No one can tell you the path that you're going to take to realize your desires. Now, you are going to hear a lot of people try to tell you how it should happen. You're going to hear people say, well, if I were you, and you have to tell them, thank God you're not. And you also have to tell them, where if you were me, you would be doing exactly what I'm doing, because you would be me, right? I always thought that was funny. People say, if I were you, if you were me, you would be thinking just like I'm thinking, because you would be me. So that means you have to think like I would think. You have to talk to yourself as though you're already the person. Not that you're trying to be, not that you're going to be, but that you are. You already are. And it really is no special gimmicks, right? And do what your intuition is leading you to do. So your intuition may actually have you playing the part as being the person, like we had the gentleman on a couple of days ago saying, he was going to restaurants as though he was on a date, ordering for the date, even though the date wasn't physically there. She was mentally there. In his mind, she was sitting across from him. And he acted it out. He told the waiter, yes, she's going to have this plate of food. She's going to drink this type of, refreshment. He's talking to his family. Yes, +1. It's a +1, and show up by himself. But in his mind, he's showing up with his +1. And when you do things like that, you got to really get into character and don't care about what other people think. You really got to play that role like you're really this character in your own movie. And you really got to own that. Really Be immersed in that. And you can't let people say, think that you're crazy or anything like that. Hey, Andriel. Is it necessary? Not necessary. Would it be fun? Yeah, that would be fun, right? To like those of you desiring, a mate, to be in a relationship, and then to act out as though you're in a relationship. Go to the movie and purchase 2 tickets. Go to the movies and buy 2 cups, 2 drinks, and a big old tub of popcorn, as though you're on a date, right? But you got to make it fun. Like, you can't, right? You can't be like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Oh my, like in the beginning, you may say that, right? But once you take on the role of being that person, you fully immerse yourself in that reality, right? And you just make it normal for yourself. That's the whole thing about feeling is the secret. It's about normalcy. That's what it's about. Is that what you're doing, who you are, what you're being is not weird. That this is who you are. Hey, Kev. Welcome. Like truly owning that. Like, this is who I am. I have a great relationship with money. Money just loves me. It can't get enough of me. It follows me wherever I go, and it always returns with like-minded friends. Like, it always, is multiplied exponentially. Always. Great relationship with money. I love what money can do. I love what money can buy. I love the thought of money. Like, when you think about money, do you think about that you love the thought of money? Or when you think of money, you cringe? It's like, money, it's so hard to get. I never have enough of it. Money, why we gotta pay for everything? Oh my goodness, why do we have to pay? Why is everything so transactional? Oh my goodness, why does everything cost? Is that how you think about money? Because I would suggest you don't think about money in that way if you want it to stay and you want it to be in your world. Don't think that way about money. You want to have the thought process that money is easy to come by. That it comes in infinite ways. Ways known and ways unknown. Like, be playful with money. Like, yeah, I love when I go to the store and I buy and I can afford to buy whatever I want. And the only reason why I don't get everything that I want is because I simply don't desire to. Like, that's the way you have to think. You go into a store, you don't go into the store saying, oh my goodness, this stuff costs too much. Oh my goodness, I can't believe they're charging for that. How dare they gonna charge? Who they think they are? Who does Louis Vuitton think they are? Christian Louboutin, you got to be crazy charging $800 for a pair of red bottoms. Are you serious? Chanel, you went from $12,000 to $14,000 or $16,000 for a purse. Like, who the hell do you think you cannot have that mindset? Because prices are relative. Right. Hey, Elizabeth. Hey. Yes, I'm a money magnet, SK Beauty. Wealth, conscious, and money is just a reflection. Yup, that's it. Right, where you gotta let money be the background noise in your movie, right? That money is just part of your experience. It doesn't define you, right? It's just something that is, like breathing, right? Like breathing. It's just something you do. It's just something that the body does. Money, it's just something that you have. And you have plenty of it. It just happens to be there. It's just always there, right? Right. It costs what it costs. That part. It is what it is. Don't complain about it. I mean, you can do what you want to do at the end of the day, right? Just know that your subconscious, that with the part of you that we call the subconscious mind, that the greater part of you, your awareness, is always checking for you, is always listening to you, is always agreeing with you. Whatever you say, it says, "Yep, you're right." It just says, "Yep." Oh, you think that costs too much? Yep, it costs too much. Oh, you think that's hard? Oh, yeah, that's hard, isn't it? Oh my goodness. Like it agrees with you, and then it shows you just what you're saying. And it's going to
Mm,
expand it.
mm,
It's going to
mm.
magnify it. Hey, Kev.
Hey, I love listening to you. I listen to you all day, all night
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you.
because of the truth. Because of the truth. I mean, you're and I know I'm biased in my opinion, but you're like one of my favorites.
Oh, I
I'm very
appreciate
very
that.
biased because you don't mind putting the truth no matter what. You let the truth be the truth, and people don't get mad at you. They get mad at the truth that you giving.
The truth and nothing but the truth.
Right.
So help me.
Money can be attracted or it can be repelled.
Yep.
And you personally gets to decide which one you get.
Yes.
People don't understand they really do have that power. It's your awareness that we're trying to bring to people so they can manifest with intent. When you're broke and don't have anything, did you do a leaderboard saying that you were broke?
That part.
Did you
Right.
write,
That you had to put it on a focus board,
right,
right?
did you put it
What
on
do
a
they call it? What
focus
do they call
board?
it? Not a focus board. What is it called?
Um,
Vision board.
Vision board. Did you have to write it down several
30,000
times? I'm
times.
broke. No, all you had to do was speak and think it,
Mm-hmm.
and you manifested it. And when you had money, all you had to do was speak and think it, and you had it. That's how powerful you are. And just because you don't believe you're not a God doesn't change the fact that you are.
Yep.
Your words will not return to you void. It cannot happen. Once you understand that, you'll stop saying what you don't want and intentionally say what you do want, and you're going to manifest either way. That's how we're built. That's how we were created.
Yep.
Manifesting to us is as thoughtless as we don't sit down and think how many beats per minute our heart needs to make. We don't think about how many breaths that we need to take throughout the day. We just do. And as far as being, children are the perfect example of being what they imagine they be.
Yep.
You can, when my daughter wanted to play doctor, you know what she asked for? A stethoscope, toy one,
Mm-hmm.
a first aid kit with band-aids,
Mm-hmm.
something, tongue depressor,
Mm-hmm.
all the things that a doctor uses, and they use their imagination to do that.
Yep.
When she wanted a spaceship, she got a box long enough for her to sit in, and
Mm-hmm.
she sat in the box and she traveled throughout the universe.
Yep. Yep.
And I didn't call her crazy. I didn't say stop doing that. We don't do that to kids. We let them use their imagination because they come to this planet, this 3D, knowing who they were.
Absolutely.
And they know that they can, whatever they think, they can manifest.
Yep.
So.
Exactly. And manifest, when we say manifest, it's not a tool. It's who you are.
That's who we are.
Manifest just means to make the unseen visible.
That's all it
That's
does.
all it means. And you're always turning your thoughts into things.
Always.
You
Whether
may
you
not
believe
like
it,
some of those things that you're bringing into visibility.
yeah, whether you believe it or not, it don't stop you from manifesting.
It doesn't stop it. Can't rock the boat.
Nope.
Can't stop the show. You just need to be master
Of your
of
own thought.
manifesting. Become a
Yes.
master at it, which
Yes.
means to purposefully, intentionally, deliberately decide what you want to make visible or known in your reality.
Yes. Yes, because it's coming true. It's going to manifest one way. It's going to manifest. Like I said, your words are not going to return to you void.
Yep. And I like how you brought home the fact that when it comes to the unwanted, you didn't have to do a picture board about it.
Nope.
You didn't have to journal it.
Nope.
You didn't, and that needs to really be driven home, because just as easy as it was to bring forth the unwanted, it's the same energy
It's the
to
same
bring forth the
energy.
wanted.
You
Just
got it.
like you didn't have to do anything to make the unwanted come, you don't have to do anything to make the wanted come.
That's part right there. That part right there. That part right there. And you don't need to go ask somebody permission to manifest either.
That part.
You don't have to sign up for a course to tell you how to manifest. You don't need a coach.
Don't need a coach, don't need
Did
a
somebody
course.
coach you? Did somebody coach you how to get what you don't want?
That part. You just knew it. You telling everybody, I knew it. I knew it. I knew that was gonna happen. I could just feel it. I just knew something bad was gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you knew it. Yeah, because you wrote it. You talked about it. You gave it your energy. You gave it your
Right.
attention. That's all it took.
What Toyia, what surprises what I do is I listen when I ask someone how are they or how are they doing. I actually listen to their response, and some of it is so negative. I'm hanging in there.
Mm.
Well, it's better. I'm on the right side of the ground. Right, right. It's just I'm just hanging on. I'm just trying to making it day by day.
Mm-hmm.
They don't talk abundance,
Mm-mm.
and they don't even realize that they're speaking against themselves. Well, how you doing? I can't call it.
You right. That's
You know I'm right. You know I'm right.
actually, you are calling it. You just don't realize that you.
Right. Correct.
Oh, that's why I say the power of awareness. Pay attention to how you speak about life.
Yes, because you you are creating, you are manifesting. And we're here on this live talking about manifestation. And some people might have came on here because they wanted to learn how to manifest. Well, you already know.
Yep.
You just need to understand and be aware what you're manifesting.
Yep. And
Not
many of you are manifesting the struggle bus.
right.
You want hard and difficult, served up on a platter.
Right.
And consciousness says, "Oh, really? I got you. Hold
Yep.
my
You say I
beer.
got you. I got
Hold
you.
my beer," as they say. And I'm
Yep.
going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to you like you ain't never had it before.
Right. Press
And you
down,
going
shaking
to
together,
together
running
running
over.
over. Yep. Oh, I'm gonna heap it on you.
And then you turn around. Well, God don't put no more on you than you can
Oh my
bear.
goodness, my husband and I was just talking about that. Like, man, he's the whole because he said after my live earlier, he went into another live they were talking about God and Christianity, and and the host had someone on the panel asking, okay, so what if you lost your job for a year? Why would God allow you to, go without a job for that long period, knowing that you needed it, right? He was like, well, so he gave some long answer, but basically, like you just said, it was God not gonna put no more on you than you can bear.
See there?
God is just testing you.
See there? See there? God, who knows everything, got to put you through a test in order for you to know everything.
That part.
Really? Really? All you got to do is wake up to be aware.
Yep.
And I mean, people need to, I guess they'll wake up, eventually. I just got a message from a cousin of mine who lives out of state, and he sends me all these, and I love him. I love him dearly. Even though I didn't really meet him until I was an adult. He's on my father's side of the family. He's kind of way down in the family line. And he sends me all these things about um, Christianity and God and how God is out there. And he just sent me one just before I came on live about heaven and us getting our crown and Jesus, and I couldn't hold back anymore. I mean, I get it all the time from him, and I had to let him know. I was like, "Cuz he's much, much older than me, much, much, much older than me." And I don't know if he used to be a minister or still a minister. I don't know, but he's always telling me on the religious standpoint, and he thinks that I am in total agreement with him. And I had to let him know. I said, the kingdom of heaven is not up in the sky somewhere. The Bible, he's always quoting the Bible. I said, doesn't your script say that the kingdom of heaven is inside of you? If it's inside of you, why look for him where he's not? And Jesus asked that question, why are you searching for me in the cave? I ain't in there. He's not outside of you. So why are you looking out there? Hey, I ain't out there. So I said it in love. I tried to say it in love as best I could. But I don't know how it's going to be received, and really, I
Yeah,
can't.
that's why I said I don't let people have their beliefs. If you're still struggling or still trying to figure out how to get your desires, that's what this platform is for. The platform is no longer for those who are not ready to receive the message, right? Because it can't keep kicking against the prick. As the
Correct.
Christ said to Paul, how long you gonna keep kicking against the prick? Let them keep kicking. Eventually they'll get tired.
Right. Oh,
And
they
then
may
when
not.
they're tired, we'll be right here waiting for them.
They may like the pain that they're manifesting for themselves because they believe once they die they're going to get their prize,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's okay.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, that's okay.
Yeah, they want that pie in the sky by and by. They want it
Yeah.
later rather than now. That's okay. Like I said, I used to be in that same mindset. I used to think that I had to go through the struggle life in order to experience the peace of life at a later time, right? That you really couldn't have that peace, that joy right here, right now, that every time you got a blessing, you had to know that the devil is right behind it, right? That
They are so quick.
don't feel too safe and secure
They are so
because the
quick.
devil is busy and is
Look at
looking
that.
to take on
Look at
the
that.
believers.
Look at that.
So you're
Look at
never
that.
at rest because you're always worried about a devil.
I mean, Christians give the devil more credit than he deserves. I didn't do anything.
They're like the devil, like, why they always blaming me? Blame yourself.
He said, "You the one manifesting. How you blaming me?"
Yep. I always like, don't get too comfortable, cause here I come, ready or not. Here I come. You can't hide.
Oh,
I'm
we
gonna
always say that, don't we?
find
Say that.
you.
It's
And
us.
make you. Yeah.
Yep. That song right there. That song right there. Because we tell ourselves, we're waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yep.
Don't get too comfortable because I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yep.
Whatever can go wrong will go wrong.
Murphy's Law.
Yeah, no, it's their law.
Yep.
They take Murphy's name out of it and change it with their name.
Oh, making you think that good things don't, that good days don't last always. Like,
Right.
what?
And that's true to them.
But they say the opposite. Bad days don't last always.
Right.
But
Right.
they
It's
expect the
always
bad
darkest.
days, right? They expect to have trouble.
Right. It's always darkest before dawn.
Yeah, and this day you will be man will be full of trouble. You don't understand. He's talking about from the lower mind, from the
Yes.
sleeping mind, not from the
Yes.
awakened mind.
Yes.
Christ didn't have difficulty in this life. Like they try to say, "Oh, he was just like us. He suffered." No, he didn't. No, he didn't. According to those four gospels, the only thing he was supposedly tempted one time, the devil came to him with three different supposedly quote air quotes tempted with offering him the world's goods, testing him with, hey, you be God and do this. That was the only time. Those three
Right.
times. And after that, but was that really a test?
He would
I was
test
being
him.
tested with something he is.
He was testing him with doubting who he is.
Right. But he knew who he was,
He
so it wasn't
knew.
gonna work.
He knew.
He knew
So
who he
how
was.
many times do we know who we are when we're faced with
Right.
any type of considered adversity?
Yep.
When do we lean into who we are
Yep.
and laugh at it? I had a lady that told me she had cancer, and she watched every comedian show or whatever she can get her hands on, and she just laughed and laughed and laughed until the sickness left her body.
Yes. 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 That's
State of
it.
mind. State of mind.
State of mind. The state of, oh my goodness, laughter is the best medicine, right?
Mm-hmm. And
That's it.
she took a big dose of it daily.
That's it. That's what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to put your focus on the problem and think the problem is going to go away. You just magnify it.
Yep. What you give your energy to.
Hey, Miss.
Yep.
Oh, were you Did you? Was I supposed to wait or?
What's
My
happening?
bad.
Say to myself.
Cause I was waiting for you to to be done. I didn't want to over speak.
How are
Okay.
you?
My bad. I'm doing really good. It's just
Good.
I got another interview. I think because I went to the job thing and they was like it was just building, like it wasn't done yet. And then they gave me an email. They was like, oh, if you still want to go to the job, it was a job fair. It was in a different location. So that's what happened. But anyways, I got another job interview and I'm like, this one has like 25 an hour. It's way better and it's like close to my house. I was just like, okay, that's really, really good. So that's a success story. But I'm like, why when I told my mother, she didn't seem happy for me? Like, and it's just like,
Why are you looking for your mother to be happy for you? Why isn't you being happy for you enough?
What? That's crazy, man. That's what I don't.
But how are you?
understand.
But you said she didn't seem happy. What does that even mean? Did
No,
she
'cause I
say
asked
she
her-
wasn't happy?
Cause I asked her about something else, right? And then she was like, she's like, oh, you can't get out here, and I'm just like, why are you being so negative to me? Something.
Wait a minute, what did
positive.
she
She's
say?
always been negative to me, and I'm
Wait a minute,
like,
what
I'm
did she
tired
say?
of it. She was like, oh, you can't get that out here. Talking about like it's like a thing I was applying for, and then she said it in a negative way, and I'm just like, bro, I can't try to change the story so many times. It's just like it's so annoying. It seemed like I tried. I decided that I'd change the story, but it keep coming up for some reason, and I keep Keep trying. Like, I don't know what it is, man. I really don't know what it is because I'm on my way to being a billionaire, and I ain't got time for this, man. I ain't got time for none of
But you
this.
keep
I just want to
saying
know.
that, but every day you tell the story that I'm on the live. Every day you
Oh,
come up here and you tell this story that you don't want to experience and
oh
wonder why
my
you keep
god.
experiencing it. Like, what? Because you could have not had any reaction to what she said, and then that's
That's
what causes
hard.
the reaction to dissipate. But every time you give attention to the unwanted, you give the unwanted life. You are the life giver to these situations. Had you just ignored her and let it roll off your back like water on a duck's back, where it didn't stick to you, where with her words, what she thought about it was none of your business. How many times I keep saying that? What another person thinks is none of your business, but you keep making it your business. You keep talking about, oh my goodness, I can believe she negative. Oh my goodness, that's why I want to stay to myself. That's why but you keep creating the reality of this situation.
Why does it? I need to stop getting triggered so fast, man. That's been a hard. I ain't gonna cap. That's been a story I've been trying to change, but that has been the hardest
That
thing.
thing you
Everything
keep
else,
trying. When you gonna do it? Because I know when you do it, when you stop talking about it. But as long as you're talking about it, you're gonna keep trying. Trying
it's
is not doing it.
just man, it's so hard.
Well, there you
It's
go.
so
That's why it's
hard,
hard. Because
man.
man, it's so hard. It could all be so simple.
I
Baby, baby,
literally say to
baby.
myself,
But you'd rather make it hard. Loving you is like a battle where we both end up with scars. That's what you're telling your mama. Keep wounding
I want
yourself.
indifferent so bad. Just be positively indifferent. That's what I focus on. Positively indifferent because I don't. It's like, how do I say it? Like, I care for indifference, but it's like I think reacting is like a way of me controlling the situation, and it's just I don't want to control it no more. I have to just be 100% indifferent to the energy or whatever it is. It's just so annoying, man. That's been
Here's
I
the
don't
thing. Here's your
understand.
story. I want to say to myself, but I'm gonna keep talking about the people I don't want to be in my life, and then I write them into my script. So I'm engaging with them, and then they do the very thing that I don't want them to do, and then I'm mad about it. Then I'm gonna talk about it, and then we're gonna do the Groundhog Day, where we're gonna have the same conversation the very next day, because I'm gonna keep doing the very thing that I don't want to see happen. So I'm going to keep talking about how I don't want. I'm a billionaire. I'm a billionaire, and I don't care about these people. Yet I keep talking about the very people I don't care about. I don't talk about people I don't care about. They're not a part of my conversation. Yet here you are. The people you don't care about, you make them the focus. They live rent free in your mind. For some reason, they always on your mind.
Man,
Always there when you call. You're always on time.
not
Baby,
the
be
song,
mine. Like they're always
not the
on your
song.
mind. Always on your mind. Oh, but
Well, let me
it
ask you
just
this.
sounds
Let
like
me
you
ask you
haven't
this question.
decided, and that's okay. Here's the thing, don't beat yourself up. It's okay. You haven't decided. You still want to play in this reality. That's okay. You get to play in this
I
reality.
don't. I
Exactly.
don't. It's so like
It'll
I
be one day you'll
don't.
get sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired, and then we won't hear about it
Uh,
anymore. But until you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, we're gonna hear about this every day.
okay.
And
Okay.
it's
Okay.
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 It's okay.
Sorry.
It's
Okay.
okay.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. Let me give you a scenario. Let's say you were in my shoes, right? And you have everything planned out. You have everything executed for your brands, businesses, and everything. But your 3D is showing you that you're in two apartments with your brother and then your mother, and they don't really like you. And it's just like I don't want to be there, but I know I'm in Houston, and it's been how do I? It just seems so hard. Like I don't understand it. Like
Okay, I get it. I get what you're saying. You know, like you're wanting to create the reality that you're in Houston. Kind of. You ever listen to Neville Goddard?
Yes.
where he talks about you're in Barbados.
Yes, that's the
Right,
that's
right.
the
So you're in Houston, right?
yeah.
Here's the thing. If you really don't want, and I say if, since you really don't want to be in this house
Yeah.
with the brothers and the mother, right?
Yeah.
When you go to sleep, you're not
Uh-huh.
sleeping in the house with your brothers and your mother. When you wake up, you're not there with them. You're waking up in the place you want to be. This is where you have to fully live in your mind. And in the beginning, it may seem kind of challenging because you're so used to going by what you see physically. And I'm telling you, I actually say to myself, you can't look at what you see physically. You have to look what you see mentally. That your only reality is happening in your mind. You cannot give over to the 3D. The 3D is there to be experienced, not judged. But you keep judging the 3D, saying, this is wrong, I don't like it, what's going on, why isn't it
Yeah.
changing, what's happening, this is so hard, right? You keep talking about what you're seeing as opposed to who you're being. So you're supposed to be being the billionaire that lives in Houston, but you keep giving your energy to the reality of living with your family.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, yeah.
You have to decide. You have to pick a side. Do you live in Houston or do you live at home with your family?
Oh, I live in Houston.
Then how are we talking about living at home with the family? What they do shouldn't even bother you. But here's the thing. This is how it works. They're going to keep playing the old script that you wrote because you keep giving it life. Every time they come play the old version, you interact with it. When the old script shows itself, you have to, this is where it talks about ignoring, and I don't even like saying it, ignoring the 3D, but it's about recognizing that it's old news, that it's a rerun of a story you no longer identify with. And the only way it dies is that you cannot, at any cost, give your energy to it. And here's the beauty of it. Say you do. Say like what you just happened with your mom, right?
Yeah.
And your mom said what she said and you felt like she was being negative. This is what you can do. You can use your mind to recreate that scene and say, well, actually, when my mother said that, it didn't even bother me. Or actually, my mother didn't even say anything. She was like, oh, really? Oh, you could put in the mouth of your mother the thing you wanted to hear. And every time it comes to you that you said something about the job and she responded, you can say, well, actually, she didn't respond, or actually, she said this. And every time you think about it, every time it comes to mind, well, actually, she didn't respond, or actually, she said this. And you keep doing that, eventually, you're just going to not think about it anymore. And then the next time it happens and you don't respond to her, it's going to be a different reaction. It's going to be a different interaction. That's how it works. But every time you give energy to the unwanted, you're just recreating it. But here's the thing. You don't have to accept it, though. Just like what you just told us what happened to your mom. Right now, you can decide that didn't happen. You get to tell a different story. Most people say, oh, you lying. You lying. Like when I told people about the interaction with my cousin, and I was telling people, they was like, but it did happen. You were lying. There are no lies. What you mean I was lying? I was rewriting the story. There are no lies told. I recreated the scene.
Oh man,
I'm the producer. I'm the author of my reality. Because most people wouldn't do that because we've been told you're not supposed to tell a lie. How are you going to say something happened that you know you didn't experience? What do we say? The subconscious mind doesn't know the difference, right? The brain doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's not real. It only knows right? That's the beauty of it. You can change it. You can tell the brain, actually, that didn't happen. Actually, this is what happened. You can rewire. I think that was Gigi talking about the neural pathway highway. You're on the wrong path. Just redirect it. to the path you want to be on. You always have a choice. Always. Yep. Divination said
Yeah.
Accepting and Rejecting by Walter C. Lanyon.
Man, why is it? I got a
Said,
question. Why
how
is
are
it
you
easier
supposed
for
to
some
not
than hard?
react to stuff? Reaction is a choice. You can easily not react, especially if you want the outer to change. It's necessary that you don't react. So that because here's the thing with the 3D. It's the mirror, right? Remember I told you it's the mirror? You're wanting the mirror to change before you do. When you look in the mirror, does it change on its own or do you have to do something to make it change? The mirror doesn't smile unless you do, right? Your
Yeah.
third dimensional space doesn't change until you do. You keep saying, "Oh, I need you to change. I need you to change." The 3D is saying you first, and you keep saying, "No, you first." And the 3D is saying, "No, that's not how this works. I'm the effect. You're the cause. I'm only reflecting you. The reflection can never dictate to the projector. You're the cause. You're the one causing the reflection. You have to change." I get it that the people feel like, oh, no, the world needs to change. I just need the world. If the world would change, I'd be happy. That's not how it works. You're going to be holding your breath for a very long time if you're waiting for the world to change for you to be happy. Your happiness should not depend on another person.
I know that.
Clearly, I
I
don't
know
know. Do you
that.
know that? Because you keep wanting your mother to be a certain way so you can think differently about her. I say
That's
think
what
differently about her first and then she'll show up differently. I'm telling you, that's how it works. You have to think differently about her, then she shows up differently. That's how it works. She's only playing out your thoughts about her. You don't see people, you see your assumptions about them. So you assume your mother to be negative and not very supportive. Well, damn, that's what you get. You get what you think. Yep, like Elizabeth said, I promise you it works that way. I know it works that way. Like we all on this, a lot of us on here, Kevin can tell you, Elizabeth, revision works. Divinate, a lot of people in the chat knows this is how it goes.
Yep, exactly.
And you know that's how it goes because your way hasn't changed anything, has it?
Nope.
Yeah. Once you write a different script for your mom and you remain faithful to the script that you write, and not just your mom, whoever's in your reality, everyone is showing up based on your assumptions about them.
Really? Because I assume my life is so easy. Where's the easy?
It is easy. You're saying easy, but you don't believe easy. You believe hard. You're saying it. So this is where the script says, you honor me with your mouth, but your heart is far from it. Your heart ain't in easy. Your heart is in hard and difficult.
Like, you know what I do believe? I do believe that I'm talented. I do believe I love myself. I do believe all the good things about myself. Mm-hmm. What I really need to focus on is feeling like what I was born into stopped me from progressing. Like, being around people stopped me from, I feel like I was stopped, basically. And then when I make it, I feel like this is what I really be putting in my head, even though I know I'm making it. I made it. But the thing is in my head is like when I finally, I know I escaped, that it's going to be messier. Because you know how when people get like financially where they need to be and people want money and things like that, and it's like, or they'll like try to humiliate you or ruin your reputation and stuff like that because of money, or they don't like you.
You're saying that's going to be your reality?
That's like a celebrity. Like, like when you get rich, like people be like coming out the woodwork asking for thousands of. It's just like, nah, man. I don't owe no one anything. So that's what really be in the back of my head. Even though I know for a fact I made it out, and I made it. I manifested my
You know,
dream.
so you say you watched Kanye, right? You watched his
Yeah,
documentary, right?
his mom loved
He's
him,
talking just like you talked. He talked about having haters, right?
but his mom wasn't.
No. He talked about having haters, though.
Oh, it's a
Did he
different.
not talk about having haters?
It's different when it's
No.
your
Did
mother.
he talk about having haters?
Yes,
Yes, he did. Did he experience having haters?
yes.
Yes, he did. There you go.
But
You're
it's different.
already creating the reality that people are going to come for you. They're going to try to tear you down. You're going to get sued for your money. Why are you talking like that? Is that what you want to experience?
Heck no.
Then why are you? I just told you your thoughts is your power. Your thoughts, your speech creates your reality. Your thoughts are things. And here's the thing. This is what you don't get to do. You don't get to say what it looks like. Like me and Kevin were talking about. Oh, it's going to be pressed down, shaken together, and running over the thing that you're speaking. So you ain't seen talked about yet. You haven't seen being torn down yet. I don't even know why you would want to bring that into your reality, but I'm here to tell you that every seed grows out there its own kind, and it always produces 30, 60, and 100 fold.
Then where's all the other one seeds that I planted?
I don't know. You're not talking about those. That's not what you're giving your light to. You're giving your energy to the things you don't want. You know.
Man, where are the other seeds? Where's my millions? Where's my
No,
car?
actually, I believe she's a Gemini divination. Aren't you a Gemini?
Yeah, I'm a Gemini.
She's a
Kanye's
Gemini.
twin. I'm Kanye's twin for sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. You got to change your self concept. Thanks, Miss Millionaire. Yep, you got to Miss Millionaire energy. You have to change your self concept. I get it. When people are successful, they love to think that someone is attacking them for their success. Gotta let that mindset go. There are it's a lot of people that's successful that are not celebrities. They have no limelight and they are living their best life. There are billionaires and millionaires. We absolutely have no idea who they are. And they're living their best life.
Man. It's just Kanye West. His mom was his biggest support system. I'm not saying
Is that the issue? Because he had his mother as his big support system, and you feel like your mother
it's
isn't.
a huge difference when the person that you is supposed to support you is your mother, and then the other one, his haters was nobody that he didn't even really know like that. And if he do them, he ain't gotta say, "Oh, hey, mom."
It didn't matter if he knew them. He created them, and they definitely played a big part in his reality. Because his mother is no longer with us. At his greatest achievement, his mother wasn't there physically. But the haters were. The haters that he wrote into the script. Oh yeah. They're alive and well. Trying to put him in hospitals and stuff. Telling him he crazy. Right?
He was never crazy.
I'm not saying that, but he wrote the script of haters. He didn't get to say how that was going to play out. This is what I'm telling you. He planted the seed. He didn't get to say how it was going to manifest. That's why I'm telling you now, be careful what you speak. It sounds like fun and games now, but it's not fun when you actually reap what you sow. And I'm saying you don't have to accept that reality, though. You get to change it. You get to revise it. So, that's the work, say to myself, changing your self-concept. Saying that people are supportive of you, they love you, they're there to lift you up, that you're inspiring, and not saying who it should be. Right? Because here's the thing, once you change the story, you're going to find out that maybe your mom actually is your biggest supporter, but you keep writing that she isn't. You do care, you wouldn't keep talking about her, but okay, I'm gonna let you have that. I'm gonna let you have that, and I'm gonna go to the next. I'm gonna go to the next person on the panel, but I'm gonna let you have that. You have to figure that out for yourself. You have to come to that within yourself. And I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying anything that you're doing is wrong, But obviously what you're doing, you don't like experiencing. So all I'm saying, if you don't like it, change it. Stop complaining about it and decide differently. Hello, is that Cackle Tree Dragon? How do you say that?
Yes, hey,
Hey,
hope you guys
hey,
are
how are
well.
you?
Oh, fine. So, okay, so I had a question and I mentioned it in the chat and I was asking about can you make somebody who's abusive, can you, with revision, could you make someone who's in your story as aggressive, abusive, like, can you, can that change? Can you rewrite them to be calmer, like working with their emotions, because clearly it's their emotions is all over the place, why they get to that point. So that's what I want to ask.
Right, you can always change what you think of a person, right? And how they show up in your reality is going to be based on your assumptions about them. Not how they act with others, but how
Yeah, I
they
don't care about what
are.
they act with others, but like with me in particular,
Right.
like, yeah, because like with my situation is I was talking to somebody. I had to kind of block them on like all ways, like platforms, phone. I had to change my phone number. Like they just keep calling and calling, and but they're not treating me very well. It wasn't super bad, but and I really, really cared about them. But then they started showing me a side of them. I was like, no, they're not valuing me or my time and what I'm bringing to the table. So I'd rather just step out of this. So that's why I was just curious if I could rewrite how they are with me. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not that you're changing them, you're changing you, right?
Yes.
Since you're the thinker in this scenario,
Yes.
they're just playing out the thoughts that you're having. So just
Yes.
think differently, right? So when you think of them, wish them well. Wish them all. You want to get, this is what forgiveness is, right? Forgiveness isn't about expecting an apology or owning, that you did something wrong to me or that you hurt me. That isn't forgiveness. Forgiveness is twofold. Forgiveness is literally forgetting the state that they're occupying where they were mentally or emotionally, what you said, right? Because I don't know what terminology we could use here on TikTok, right?
Right.
Forgetting that state, and now you're going to lift them up in consciousness in your mind, right? Because they actually don't exist except in your mind. And so now you're going to give forth what you would like to receive in return. So what do you want in return? You want love, you want understanding, you want peace, you want joy, you want goodwill, you want all of the wonderful things, right? So that's how you're going to think of them. I wish them nothing but love, peace, joy, harmony, goodwill, because what I think of you, I think of me. Because I'm the only thinker. I'm the only one having these thoughts. What they think, none of your business. What they're doing, none of your business. Is what you're doing, who you're being, what you're thinking. So the moment you change your thoughts, the world has to project that back to you. And so how it manifests itself, it just may manifest where they're no longer a part of your reality. Or they're going to show you, or they're going to confirm you the change that you've made in your mind. And so they're going to show up the way you thought of them, which is loving and kind and harmonious and joyful and peaceful.
Okay. Yeah, that
It's
makes
like
sense.
when I told you about my husband's ex-wife, right?
Mm-hmm.
Once we decided to think differently about her, right? So this relationship was something else now. We back and forth to court. We getting police called all the time, right? It's like he could do no right in her eyes, right? And we recognize it was our thoughts creating this. Like we were saying, oh, she was difficult. Oh, she's always doing it right. So we had to change that. So on my part, I just started saying she's actually an amazing mom. She's doing the best that she can. Now, most people probably would have said that she was hell on wheels, like bitter, angry, mad, right? I stopped using those terms to describe her. I started saying, okay, if I was in her position, how would I want people to think of me? Would I want people to think the worst of me, or would I want people to see the best in me, even if I didn't see it in myself? Well, of course, I want people to see that which was the best of me, even if I didn't know it was there. So I started saying, oh, if I had a business, I would want my business to prosper. So guess what I'm going to do? Think that her business is prospering. So, I wish nothing but prosperity for her and her business. I recognize that she's a great mom and she's doing the best that she can, with the information that she got, she just every time I thought of her, I thought well of her. So I wasn't really thinking about her anymore. Like, she stopped coming up in my mind as something to think about her from, a negative perspective, quote unquote, negative perspective, and then my husband was doing whatever he was doing on his end. And then lo and behold, she comes up to him and say, hey, let's get rid of the lawyers. Now they communicate well. She has any problems or issues, she calls him, regarding their parenting, with their daughter, and it's like, it really is like night and day, really. It really is.
Wow. So okay, so you did see a difference in her behavior. You guys have been able to this day be more cordial and it's more
Well,
peaceful.
it really has nothing to do with me, right? Because I'm the
Right.
bonus mom, right? His
Right.
interaction with
Yeah.
his interaction with her changed
Gotcha.
drastically, right? Yeah.
Gotcha.
They was even able to do a birthday together for their daughter.
Yes, baby. It's on. You gotta wait. Wow. Okay. That's good. That's good. That's
Yeah,
that's
yeah. And
co-parenting. That's what it is.
so when I met her, and she was 3, and we came into this knowledge when she was like 8 or 9. So since
Okay.
like 2018, 2019, so for the past 6 or 7 years, world of difference.
Okay.
And not to say that sometimes the old state that which she operated in didn't try to rear its ugly head. It did. And now, my husband would tell me, it's like, oh no, we're not giving no energy to that. Oh, that ain't nothing. Because sometimes she'd be like, well, I'm going to court. I'm like, she ain't going to court. She all right. We ain't gonna get no energy to that. Well, normally we probably be like, oh my goodness, been saying stuff and falling out. Like, nope, we're not gonna give no energy to it. No, she all right. She get over it. We ain't paying her no
Yeah.
mind.
So with
You
so
gotta be a robot. Honestly, I promise you, it's like you gotta be a robot in this. If you have so much energy, you gotta be a robot.
No, you don't have to be a robot, because
It's just like,
I've
how do you not
had
have emotions?
No, I've had emotion. Now I had dealt some stuff with my family that I was really close to. Like, she's not my family, right? So I only knew her through third party, right? So it probably was easier for me to see this person differently because I didn't really know her, right? I knew of her. Like, we weren't friends. She was my husband's ex-wife. So yeah, I can see from my being on the outside looking in, being able to change it. But I did have interactions with her. There was emotions there. Like, she did put like what was it called? She was saying that I was harassing her or something. I mean, it ended up getting thrown out. But yeah, I did have interactions with her, and they weren't good. They were like, we did argue with one another. It was threats and stuff like that. But I took full accountability for everything I did. I did not point the finger and say, oh, what she was doing. I had to own what I was doing, because it was no more about her. Now, there were other situations like I had with family. Like, I think I told you guys that I was crying to my grandfather, crying to my sister, crying to my children. Like, I went through an emotional overhaul trying to get this thing changed in my mind. So no, I'm not saying that there are certain situations where the shedding of that mindset is going to be emotional and you're going to cry your way through it. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry. So someone said, learn how to control the emotions and alchemize them to your benefit. So how would you suggest alchemizing your emotions? Because I know like alchemization is like turning nothing into something or something like that. So like give an example. Would you know an example to give for that?
Yeah, don't be afraid to have the emotion. That's a part of the human
Okay.
experience. Don't judge
Yes.
it. It's okay if you cry about it, because it's like grieving the old state. It really is like a funeral. It really is like a loss. You're shedding the old skin. It is the rebirth. That's what some people call going through the dark night of the soul, or the healing the inner child, whatever terminology you want to use. I choose not to see it as dark or healing. I see it as rebirth. And then that's just me, because I never want to take something that's beautiful and try to attach a negativity to it. So it's nothing dark about it. It's just a part of the process. It is the rebirth. It is the renewing of the mind. It is a death to the old state. And that's okay, because when people die, they're no longer, right? They're part of our world. What do? We grieve. We mourn. And so that's what you're going to do with the old state. Yes, you may grieve, but everyone grieves differently. So some people may not cry at all. Some people may laugh their way through it. People will call you weird and be like, oh my goodness, how are you laughing? Because that's how they're going to deal with it. It's going to show up differently for everybody.
That's how I said, like, life is ridiculous. I'm gonna keep it real. Even though you can get the life that you want, it's just ridiculous, man. Sometimes I be shaking my head and watch everything. And the thing is, even though I have it already, watch everything like come into the 3D. Oh, new opportunity, this come. And I'm like, why when things are unfavorable the most and things blow up the most, that's when things come. I never understood that process, man. Like, everything, all your manifestations can come in the next day after you go crazy or after you react in a way where you shouldn't have reacted. And I'm just like,
oh, but here's the thing. You're trying to make wrongness out of it where there's no wrongness. Not everybody's going to experience it the same way. No one's saying that you have to go through some crying emotional state in order to realize your desires. That's what I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that if that happens to happen, lean into it. There's nothing wrong with it. Stop looking at it as something wrong. There's nothing wrong with crying. Who said it was wrong to cry?
It's not wrong. There's nothing wrong with anything.
Absolutely nothing wrong with crying. It's a part of being human. Because here's the thing. You want to say robotic or emotional. Which one? Which one? Do you want it to be robotic, emotionless, or do you want it to be emotional?
I just want what I want.
Well, then claim that it's yours.
And you know,
because here's what I know. I know you don't have to go through struggle in order to get to heaven. You no longer have to go through hell anymore. Like, you went through hell when you didn't know who you were. So you were creating unconsciously, unknowingly. But now you know that your thoughts are creative. Now you know that your thoughts are things. And what's wrong with getting to truly know who you are and accepting who you are? It's the recognition that there's nothing wrong with you, as Kevin said. That the greater part of you doesn't need healing. The greater part of you requires no healing journey. No part of you desires is anything wrong with you. And so when you can lose that state of thinking, oh, well, the reason why these things happen to me is because, I was too vulnerable, or I was too naive, or it's not that you were vulnerable or naive. You just had a certain perspective about relationships. You were told that relationships was hard and difficult, that narcissists exist.
Yeah,
well, I don't think we've ever really met a real narcissist. Not a clinically prescribed narcissist.
No. What I really think about relationships, I think everybody has their own perception on what love is, because everyone does love. Let's all be real. Everyone is giving love because we are love as human beings, or whatever you want to say we are. We all give love. It's just what I would want as love is what I want in my life. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with anybody wanting what they want in life. I don't think there's anything wrong with, having 2 baby daddies. You want 2 baby daddies, that's on you. That's what you want in your life. But do I want that? Nah, I don't see that for myself. So it's just like, that's what I said, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just, do I want that in my life? No. So I don't focus on that. And why is it that easy with other people when it comes to like parents? It'd be the hard. I don't know why. I don't know why. That's what I don't understand. That's the main thing in my life that I don't understand. Because because
you won't give your mother grace. You're like, well, she's a parent. She's supposed to know. You can't tell me that she didn't know. See, you can say that other people really don't know or really don't. You can see where they may fall short, and it's okay. But it's not okay for your mom to fall short. It's not okay for your mom to have missed the mark, to have not known to how to really parent. And so you're going to hold her hostage for not knowing how to be a good parent. Until you can forgive your mom, yeah, you're going to be stuck there. Until you can forgive her for not knowing and being okay that she doesn't know. Because you keep saying everybody know how to love, but you keep telling me how your mama didn't love you. So did she know how to love and just told and then decided not to love you? I would disagree with that. I would say she don't know how to love, which is why it was impossible for her to love you, because she didn't know how to love.
Yeah, I'm not. No, I didn't say my mom didn't love me. I know my mom loves me. It's just the thing is, it's like I don't like her decision making. It just irritates me. That's about it. Other than that, do I think my mom loves me? Yeah. But do I care? No, because I just want you to make better decisions. You can go, like, the thing is with me, how I want to tell you, Miss Toyia, something about me. I don't care if you don't like me. But if I'm around you, I would want you to make better decisions. That's all I care about. Don't make a decision where it affects someone's, feelings. If you know come on, man. You know that's going to affect someone's feelings. You know that. We all come to a certain age where we know that we should not treat people. You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. I really don't get it. Like, I don't know what I'm missing. Forgiveness. I don't forgive anyone. I don't think there's a point to forgive.
Well, that's what you've missed. That's what you're missing. You're missing forgiveness and desiring outside validation. But hold on. Let me go back to Cackle the Dragon and see if she. I know she had questions.
Yes, I'm still here.
Yeah. Go ahead.
What I was gonna say is kind of like a testimony, right? Mm-hmm. So when I first found your page, this was last year, and you guys were talking about manifesting, and one of the ladies that came on here, she was talking about like manifesting a car, and she was just giving her testimony of like what she was doing and all this stuff. And in my mind, I was like a little skeptical, because I was like, I don't know about all that. But you know what she said was kind of like, you have to make up in your mind what it is that you want, and you got to kind of like decide this is what you want, right? Mm-hmm. And she like said a bunch of other stuff, but the main thing I remembered was like, you just have to decide, like that's what it is and that's it. And I ended up manifesting. I mean, I had to take out, loans, I'm financing it, whatever, but I was able to get myself a car, and I hadn't had a car all that time, and for quite a while. And so but one of the things I remembered was I finally decided I needed that. I really wanted that, instead of going back and forth, because I was going back and forth like, oh no, I don't need it, but then I need it, I don't need it. And so that's when I saw the difference. And then lo and behold, within like a month, I was able to get a car. And mind you, my credit was not good, and so I was like, I don't know if this is gonna happen, but I did make up in my mind that this is what I want. And the car that I have, it works very well for me and my children. This is people want fancy cars, and they gotta have the fancy name, and it has to have the fancy component. Like this car, say I'm simple. I don't need all that extra stuff, but this car works perfect for me. Beautiful. And that's what she mentioned was about love, is how we all, how we all love differently. So we're all love, and we all can want love, but it's just different for each and every one of us. But I think it is to know thyself, to know what it is that you feel or desire or want. But I also noticed that when it comes to certain areas of our life, you really have to let it go. Mm-hmm. And I think that me being able to manifest a car, at one point, that was one of the hardest things for me to do. And I couldn't seem to get it right, but I didn't make my mind up. I didn't really know that this was what I wanted. And I think now, if you just decide that this is what you want, and you work on just releasing, I feel like it kind of all comes together.
Yep.
Like I feel like it's you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because for that, I really believe me getting my car and it works perfect for me and mine. This was like a miracle. It literally, when I think about it, I'm like, dang, that was really a miracle. Or like perfect timing. I don't know, bro. I was like,
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
Because I tried before and I was straight up denied. And the car was kind of similar to this. So I'm like, but in my mind, I kind of didn't want the car and I kind of did. I just wasn't really firm on anything. I
Yep.
think I was too wishy-washy. So maybe when it comes to things that we really want in our life, you just have to be firm on that is what it is.
Yep.
This is the path. This is what I desire. And then really try your best to block out the distractions, because when it came to that, in my mind, I finally planted myself in the reality of me having a vehicle. And I was like smiling about it. And I would think about it and I would be so happy. And I was light about it. And I was like, okay, if it happens, it happens. It's cool. Like, I'm really happy about it. But I can see that this is what I want. And, you know, God, you work it all out for me and whatever. And that's just how I was. And it actually happened. And so maybe, you know, with what's your name? Stay whatever. You know, for you wanting what you want in your life, you know, I lived with people. I've even been in a shelter, and I've, you know, with my children and having to go through so much hell. But in that time, my mind was filled with hell. Like, I mean, my mind was filled with so much negativity, so much pain, so much resentment, so much at that time that
Mama.
nothing. Yes, baby.
Yeah.
Yes, you gotta wait. Brother gonna come down.
Mommy?
Brother gonna, yes. So at that time, my mind was filled with a lot of negativity, and so I couldn't get out of the situation of moving, separating myself from people who were not living the life that I would prefer to be around. So I kept on being pulled closer to people like that, pulled in, and until like I started to really like let things go and heal, that's when I was like, okay, I got my place, and I've been able to maintain a place since then. I was able to really meet better people, and I've had to go through times by myself, but at least I'm away from them. Like, even if I have to be by myself a lot of times, I'm cool with that. At least I get to be with my own. I love my own company now. I didn't before. I always had to have people around. And because I didn't heal, even when I didn't want them around, they had to be around me until I kind of had to like shake certain beliefs off. But I feel like we all work towards whatever it is, whether, you know, whoever we're supposed to be. But having this conversation has just reminded me. I'm like, oh my God, I did get a car. I said, I never gave you the testimony that literally within a month that happened. So I was like, oh my God, I got to bring that up. And then it just kind of reiterates what you always talk about, which is like you got to plant your feet, you know, into the reality that you see yourself having, but you have to really feel it. But see, what happens is we're so bombarded with distractions like work, people having attitudes, people got problems, people always throwing something at us, disrespect, all these things that are happening around us. I think it sways us so much that we can't seem to see where we're supposed to be, what we want to actually see. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. And I would just caution to think to not. Here's the thing: we got to be so careful to think that we only can be around people that think exactly like us, and that's the only way. That's
That is true,
That's
too.
not like you working. Like you're in a place where you're going to have people with all different types of belief systems, right?
Possible?
Wait, hold on. You're in a no, because it's not about other people. That's what you got to start. You got to start putting it's not about other people. It's about you. And the people you are attracting are people that's confirming who you are. The world is a mirror. And it's just mirroring back to you who you are. And so if you stop trying to look to change the world and just change yourself, you will see that the world shapeshifts and becomes this amazing place. Regardless of what people believe in, you're going to get along with them because you're getting along with yourself. And you don't need them to be different for you to be happy. Waiting for the world to change so you will be happy, man. Man, don't hold your breath. Don't, because it's not about changing the world. It's about changing yourself. Self-concept is key. And that goes
So
for
how do you?
relationships, right? So like earlier you were talking about the relationship, right? And wanting to see this person differently. It's not about seeing them differently. It's about you thinking different. Do you understand that? That is not about them. It's about you. It's about the
Yeah.
thoughts you're having.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. It's about your thoughts because you're only experiencing your thoughts. So when the focus is clearly on your self-concept, that you love you, that you're enough, that there's nothing wrong with you, there's nothing to fix, you are enough, you're perfect just the way you are, you're amazing, you're dynamic, you're what all these wonderful, amazing things, that's who you are. The world is going to say, yep, you're exactly right. That's who you are. Just accept it. Just accept that's who you are. Be that person. Be the person that you want to see in others. You want to see a kind, forgiving, harmonious, gentle, supportive person? Be it. Then you will see it. That's how it works. We didn't go ahead.
Were you guys still talk? Oh, never mind.
Did you have something else to say? Cackle tree dragon. I don't know if I'm saying it right.
Yeah. So thank you. It's cacao,
Cacao.
and so
Cacao.
So the thing is, so okay, with self concept, what would you suggest that a person can do to help themselves with their self concept? Because I think we all, that's a good thing to talk about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, all those things that I named, recognizing that there's nothing wrong with you is the first step. That there's nothing to fix. You are perfect, which means you are whole and you are complete and you don't lack anything. You have all the confidence that you need. You have all the self-determination. You have all of the joy, the love, the peace, the harmony. It's right there within you. It's just about recognition. It's about sitting with that, knowing that, saying that, having that conversation with yourself, reminding yourself of who you truly are. That you were playing the character of someone who was not loving, someone who was not kind. And so you're rewriting, you're no longer playing that person anymore. You're hanging up that role. You're actually going to live your true, authentic self unapologetically. That you don't need everything to be perfect, which means everybody to act the way you think they should act so you could be happy. That your happiness is a self-fulfilling prophecy. Your happiness comes from within, not from how someone else treats you. Because the reason why a lot of people treat us the way they do is because we don't think we deserve better. Because we were told, oh, men are like this, or relationships are like this, and relationships I don't know what to tell you. Men just gonna be men, and they just gonna do what they're gonna do, and they're emotionless robots, and they just out for self, and you just somebody to be dominated and controlled. If that's what you're perceiving relationships or men as, you cannot be surprised that you experience that type of relationship. But the moment you decide, oh no, that's not no longer how I see relationships. I understand that they're actually nurturing and supportive and loving and kind and beautiful and amazing. Because that's who I am. I am that. And so because I am that, I have to see that. It's law.
I like that. So, so every day, would you suggest like, what would you suggest as like a because I know it takes 21 days to reprogram the subconscious mind, or so they say. But honestly, I'm starting to kind of feel like it could take way less if you just decide and you really stick to it. Like, you know what I mean? But
It
the thing
happened the
is,
moment you decided, like you said, the moment you decided, that's when it
yeah,
takes place. It just
yeah.
comes from you
But
deciding.
right, but I think too, what happens is for a lot of people on this journey of trying to working on themselves, I think they get so discouraged by what they see externally that
Hmm.
it's hard for them to really truly believe that it's possible, like the change and the shift and all of these great things that they want. Especially like if you've always been in poverty and you've never had a certain amount of money, 9 times out of 10 it's going to be challenging for you to actually believe that it's possible for you to have more. And so
I disagree
so
with that because I came from poverty. I was a single mother on welfare, 3 children. And
yeah,
I have
I believe it's possible
substantially
a
way
hundred
more
percent.
money than I ever could have imagined. I have
Yes,
substantially way more money than I knew of anyone in my family having or possessing. For anyone. And it didn't come from me desiring the money. It came because I looked at money differently. That's it.
yes.
It's because I didn't talk about being broke. I didn't talk about what I couldn't afford. I never did. I never talked like that.
So what did you do to counter that, to put yourself in that space of when all the bills are piling up and you're behind on everything and you just
I mean,
trying to
well,
figure
yeah.
it
So
out.
I did go through the of living with family, right? And until quote unquote I got on my feet and I was able to get my own place, right? Because certain things did happen, and it was more so when I was married. I feel like if I wasn't married, that would have never happened. But it was, I was in church, so I had a different mindset, and it's about the
Okay.
man and all that, so that was a different mindset then, you know.
Yeah.
And once
Yeah.
I was out of that relationship, that kind of
What are you saying?
that baggage, that weight was lifted, and my focus would just be on what I can do for myself and my children, where I didn't have to worry about what someone else was saying, what someone else was doing. So, you know, yes, my path was going to be different than someone else's. So yes, I did have family to help me. No, I didn't have to go. I didn't have to go to a shelter, right? Because I had family that helped me. So I was able to live with family. So but we didn't have our own. We sleeping, four of us in a bed, But I'm not, but I'm with family, So even though it might have been trying, but here's the thing: I don't really. That was just a whole different mindset. I can't even imagine that happening now that I know the power of the mind, right? All I can do is look back and be like, okay, live with my mother. Sister let me use her Section 8, so I'm living in her apartment, But when I live with my mother, I just, now I'm working, and now I just have a different. Once I got a job and once I was able to get my own apartment, it was just like, I'm kind of just going through the motions, but I'm not looking at what I don't have. I'm looking at what I do have. I'm not comparing my life to someone else and saying, "Oh my goodness, I wish I had did this." Because I'll end up going back to school. I got into the nursing program. Like things like just started to happen. Did I become a nurse? Nope. I discovered that nursing wasn't going to be for me. I end up going to the corporate world. Like you just see things just start to take place just because of the way you think about life. You're right. I didn't have the woe is me type mentality. That mentality was only there when I was married. Once I wasn't married, that woe is me mindset was not evident in my life. It was only there when I was married the first time. Once I got out of that situation, it's like I got back to myself. I got to know me again, right? Because now I'm not in Christianity. I don't have that mindset, oh, the man is the head of the household. And, just all the stuff, the baggage that goes along with identifying life from that perspective. Once I'm out of that, I'm out of Christianity. That relationship is no longer a part of my reality. My mindset just shifted. And I can't even say what it was. It just did. It just shifted. I just didn't, you know, because I knew what it was like to like have a bunch of credit cards. Because prior to me getting married, because I get married like my early 30s, you know, my right before I turned 30. So I'm I had credit cards up the wazoo. You know, I come off my job and all of that, and now, you know, I never did bankruptcy or anything like that. To me, that was never an option because I knew the law that after 7 years, bad credit falls off. So I just let the credit play out. You know, the only time I negotiated a credit, a judgment was I had a judgment on my credit from an apartment, and I negotiated paying like a third of that as opposed to all of it that they wanted. You know, it's just like my mind was just, you know, once you change and once you find yourself out of a situation, you get clarity, like you just start thinking about life differently, and then things just open up for you. But it does come with you having a changed mindset. That really is the key. That's why you don't necessarily have to know that you're God. You don't necessarily have to know about Christ consciousness, but you do have to decide that you're going to think differently. That's what I do know. That because I didn't know nothing about Christ consciousness I don't discover Christ consciousness until I'm already in my second marriage, and we've already been married 4 years. That's when I discovered 3 years, right? I get married in 2015. I don't come into Christ consciousness until 2018. But I can look back and be like, oh, but I did change my mindset about things. I did start to change how I saw men. I did decide to, you know, and it was just innately within me not to speak negatively about money. Because I was in my mind, I was like, oh, I'm going to get me and my children a house. Like, I was like, that was something that I had determined I was going to do. Just so happened I got married and then got the house. But I'm thinking I'm going to get the house regardless. It's just going to be me and my children, and I'm getting us a house, right? Lo and behold, the man came first. Then came the house.
See, look at how it worked out. Like, see what I'm saying? Like, the more we give our testimonies and we talk about things, like, think something's gonna click in you if you are open to it.
Yep.
Like I said, when I last year, the end of last year, when she said that about, you know, her getting a car and all the things she was saying, it was so much skepticism inside of me. I was kind of like, I don't know, man. But then I was like, you know what? God is good and God is in me. So I can really, you know, I could do some things, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, you know, it's like when you know all these great things, right? But then it's just like having it click at all times. And I think that could be the challenge for most of us, is having it click
Yeah,
all
that's because
day,
you have to
every day.
keep doing it, right? You can't say
Keep
it
doing
once
it.
a month. You can't do it once a week. You
Yeah.
only want to talk about it when a problem shows up. Now you trying to get your mind to think differently when this whole time you've been thinking this way.
Right.
But if you master your mind every day, because every day is a new now. It's a new moment that you get to think differently, and you get to decide how you're going to perceive yourself. Every day, every moment is a choice. Every moment, I'm going to choose this way to think. I'm going to think of myself like that. And then say I mess up. Say I get an unwanted experience. You don't have to accept it. You can change it. What I come to realize is that most people beat themselves up too much and they don't give themselves grace.
Yeah.
People want to say, oh my goodness, I was triggered, I spiraled out of. They want to talk about the problem. All you got to do is give yourself the solution. What's the solution? Change it. You don't gotta analyze it. You don't gotta make a big deal about it. All you have to do is decide to think differently.
And
Give
you know, it's
yourself
so,
grace.
yes. And you know, it's so interesting because the person that I was talking about, you know, they're going through some emotional stuff. But one of the things that I did notice is they told me a lot of stuff. They made me face myself a lot. And that's the thing. That's why I kind of was like, they are a good person in my.
Oh, you paused there.
Oh, sorry.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
I felt like they were a good person in my experience because they pointed out things to me that, like, it just was to be for me to be better, no matter how it was spoken. In my mind, I feel like everybody that comes in my existence or my experience, it's all just to make me better. But sometimes people don't know how to express it in the right way. But I feel like the way that person expressed it, I heard it. Like it was like, okay, I got it. Like I got it. Okay, so I started to, do better. I started working out more. I started to, change certain habits. But I was already in the process of doing that when I met them. But meeting that person had me stay consistent with it, and I was able to lose weight. I lost 30 pounds and I feel
Yes.
so much better. Yes, I feel so much better and I feel lighter. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
some people weight, they can have a lot more weight and it's okay and they kind of still function fine. Me, that little bit of 30 pounds showed me that it was just too much. But I felt like a lot of it was just baggage. It wasn't just weight, the
Hmm.
excess fat. It was weight of baggage of trauma, drama, pain, all of these things I was just carrying on my body to keep me safe because I
Yep.
felt so unsafe.
Yep.
But when I met this person, I felt safe. They helped me get back to being me again. And I feel like we all do that for each other when we have these conversations, when we're open minded, when we can just listen or we could be able to express ourselves. And so that's why I was like, can we help? Like, but at the end of the day, it's me and my concept of this person. And I'm so happy you said that because now I'm really gonna work on how I perceive them. Because honey, I was not saying no. I forgive you and God help them and God. You know what? I'm lying. I did say God help them. I did say today. I was like, God, please help them. I did say God, please help them.
Yeah,
Yes, I
because
did.
forgiveness isn't about now we can rekindle the relationship.
Right.
No, I'm wishing them well on their merry, lucky go lucky way.
Yes.
As you
Yes.
travel down
Yes.
this path, may God, I wish you Godspeed. I bid you a
Right.
farewell. Beloved, I wish above all things that you prosper and be in good health, even as
Yes.
your soul prospers. I'm not praying for us to get back together. I'm praying that you get yourself together.
That you get your. That's right. That's right. That's exactly what it
Like people
is.
think forgiveness means rekindling a relationship. No, it means releasing them to their own path, their own journey, and knowing that because your thoughts is what you experience. Why wouldn't you be the giver of great thoughts so you can receive it in return? Because what you give shall be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over.
Ooh.
That's how it works. What you give.
Jeez. And that's
What
the
you
thought you think
give.
of someone else? Is that what you're saying
Yeah.
too? Like,
Yeah. Your
what?
thoughts are the gifts. Your thoughts are gifts. And you have to ask yourself, do you want them to return to sender? Because life is a
Yeah.
boomerang.
Right. Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got to stop
Basically when
seeing
we're
them as separate from you and see them as mirroring you.
mirroring me. Okay. So
They
when you
they were
think ill of
mirroring, they were
someone,
mirroring all insecurities, all unworthiness, on
yes,
all undeservedness, not
yes.
thinking they only mirrored what you thought about yourself.
Like the back of my mind, like what's in my subconscious mind. Is that what you mean?
Not
Because
even in your
consciously, I think
subconscious
I'm a
mind.
baddie.
Like you have to be honest and say that yes, I thought relationships were supposed to be hard and difficult.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And so your subconscious said, yep, you're exactly right. I'm going to show you what hard and difficult actually looks like. I'm going to multiply this exceedingly. That's how it works. Go ahead, Kev. You can unmute.
I was just saying amen to everything you were saying. I was absolutely loving it. My grandmother on my father's side, I didn't know her that long. I only knew her as a little child, and she died of cirrhosis of the liver. And as a result of that, I became angry at alcohol because as a kid, I processed alcohol took my grandmother away from me. I didn't know a whole lot about her, but I knew she loved me and I loved her.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things she would say, and I didn't understand it then, but as an adult, as an adult that has waken up, I understand it now. And she used to say, "You change your town, you change your luck." What that means is you change your thinking, you change your position in life.
Yes.
It's never your life is never permanent unless you decided to be. That was it.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Always dropping those gems on us. I appreciate you. Love it, love it, love it. So we bring not divination. Mia. Hello, Mia. I was reading divination's comment. Go ahead, Mia.
Hey, good
Hey, hey,
evening.
hey. Good evening.
You see, I'm not as raspy.
Says later in the day.
It's later in the day. My voice done warmed up a little bit. But no, I just been listening to the live a lot, and I agree with everything. And what someone was saying earlier about the 21 days and how long it takes, and I don't necessarily believe that, because I believe that manifesting is as instant as, like I put in the chat. You ever been thinking about someone and then boom, they contact you?
Yep.
That's how fast it can happen. So it's basically, how fast can you let shit be? That's how fast it can happen. um so usually, how fast you kind of let go of what you want and just let things be and not worry about things. But no, I agree that just changing your whole way of thinking and being transformed in the mind, it's almost like practice. And I feel like, me personally, I almost do it like, I practice training my mind to think lovingly about myself because I feel like
Yes.
I've been programmed for so many, in my life, to not, or just to think negative. So
Mhm.
I try to fill my mind with things that are positive, that go in alignment. So, like, I'll watch, reality TV things or just meaningless things, but I try to do it very minimally and just kind of fill my consciousness with things to kind of retrain my mind and how I think. Because sometimes if you watch things that are about anger and hate and just, things that may not be outside of you, it can kind of mix in. So I try to fill my mind with the things that I want and how I think about myself, and lovingly, and just really kind of thinking about my thoughts, like metacognition, thinking about thinking.
Yes.
That's the term for it, thinking about thinking, metacognition. And really taking control. And I think that's kind of what meditation kind of is. It's just kind of being alone with your thoughts and kind of taking control of them. And that's one thing that I ain't gonna use the word struggle, but that's one thing I am working to be the best version of myself at.
Okay.
Controlling my thoughts and loving myself in my thoughts, unconditionally.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, because man, I be a hater in my head. Ooh, I don't know how that hater got there. Ooh, there's a hater that be. Ooh, that hater
Because you
be.
keep talking about you got a hater.
I know.
Once you give up the thought that you got a hater, you won't see the hater. But you keep talking about this hater, so the
You're
hater like, oh,
right.
I gotta play my part. She keep
You
casting me
know,
in this role. She keep casting me in this role. And I'm like, yes, Mia, I will play this role for you. I will play my part beautifully.
look, that self-sabotage be crazy. But look, look, people be, I have to come to terms, people be mad when you don't care about them caring about your opinion. Like literally telling people, well, your validation for my opinion doesn't matter. Boy, that burn people up. That's why I had to block my date after the date. My date was on fire. He done went to Jonah in the whale on the date.
Not Jonah in the whale.
He went to Jonah in the whale. I said, well, I respect your right to believe what you want to believe. And yeah, he was
Mm.
yelling at the waitress. I said, what she do?
Oh, not yelling at the waitress.
Oh, yes, it was bad.
Oh
I
my
ain't get
goodness.
stuck with nothing after that date with a good bottle of wine. After the date, I blocked him everywhere. I blocked him on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I blocked him on Twitter and X. If they the same thing, and I don't even use Twitter and X. Let's block them on everything.
You funny.
But no, I'm telling you, I'm always turning this into a comedy hour, and I'm really a classy lady. But, but no, really, I have to really, I focus what I encode into my spirit, into my subconscious,
Mm-hmm.
um, good stuff, and good ways of thinking. Because Lord, I ain't gonna talk about the H word no more. I'm not gonna say it. But that's what it be feeling like. Like this bully from like 1996 is stuck in my head
mm, mm,
and won't
mm,
get out. And this bully keep telling me what I can't do and what I
mm.
don't deserve.
What do you say to the bully?
You're not there. Why you're not a part of me? And that's not true.
And that means it's no longer bullying you, right?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So the bully no longer exists. So there's no
Yeah.
bully. No bully.
Yeah. It looked like I might be my own bully. Look, because that bully is just another
Well,
word for Satan. It's just another word we give those lower dark things that's really us.
yeah. It's just I know we be wanting to say like tell it like it is. We want to be wanting to like speak the truth about things.
Yeah,
But some things just do not need to be given any light of day.
you're right.
Some things do not need to cast the spotlight on. We're not
Hmm.
casting spotlights on bullies or haters or anything that is opposing our good, right?
Right.
So we're only going to speak life as we desire for it to be, not how it is. I don't know if you ever listen to Abraham Hicks.
Not too much. I need to do more research into him.
Her
Her.
actually,
Oh, see, that's
actually,
how.
actually,
You see, I don't
actually, her
know.
name is Esther Hicks, and
Okay.
she channels, and the being that she channels is called Abraham Hicks.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And she would just always say, which is a good reminder that we like to talk about what is as opposed to what it is we want. And the moment we start giving our attention to what is, we're creating the thing and we're giving life to it, right?
Right.
Even
Hmm.
though it's happening doesn't mean we have to give it attention.
Right.
We can just say, we can speak those things that be not as though they were, right?
Right.
And then
Uh-huh.
the unseen becomes seen.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to keep self-sabotaging, right? You don't
No.
want to keep having the experience of, this a part of me that is against me, because there's nothing against you.
Yeah. But
Nothing is
you,
against you. All is for you.
because it's just you. If something is against you, it has to be you, because ain't nothing
That
but
part.
you.
Right. So
It's
you come from the
nothing but
mindset
you.
that my father supports me, which is my awareness. He
Mm-hmm.
supports me in all that I do. And so does my mother. My mother is so supportive. She doesn't even argue back.
Mm.
She gives me exactly what the father within me tells her.
Yeah.
My father never gets it wrong. Well, my mother never gets it wrong. She gives me exactly what my father tells her. Always. So what am I telling them? What
Just that.
instructions am I giving them?
Right.
Yep.
That's come on now. You need to look. I'm gonna have you come down to Houston and speak to my psychology class. We're gonna wake some young learners up. Look, we're gonna wake some young learners up in this psychology class. You get to spitting. You get to spitting bars like that, Miss Toya. But yes, I agree with you 100%. It's just you. So I agree.
Yep. It's always listening, and we just come from a place that it's not, nothing is against us. I know. We hear it. The world is against you. The devil is against you. Nothing is against you. All supports you. Even in the unwanted. The moment you say that this is a thing, it says, yep, you're exactly right. That's a thing.
Yep.
It's
You
just
made
as
it
simple as
so.
that. Like Kevin was saying, when it comes to unwanted, you don't have to do vision boards for it.
Right.
You don't have to script it. You don't have to do a 369 about it.
Yeah.
Take that same mindset when it comes to the desires you're manifesting. The desires you're bringing into your experience. Why do you now think that you have to work for the desire when you didn't have to work for the unwanted? It's the same energy.
Look, because all that worrying energy, they put all that worrying and they manifested what they didn't want
Yep.
because they focused on it.
Yep.
What you give your attention to is what you bring about. So people be thinking they be worrying, oh, I got a plan B and C. See, that's why I'm a good planner. That's why I always have a plan B. See, people need me around. Yeah, because you're always manifesting the worst case scenario and making it happen.
Right.
And now you think you're some kind of great planner because you're always manifesting the worst case scenarios and you got your backup plan already ready because you've already decided it's not going to work.
Yep. 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 That's it. As Neville Goddard said, they believed it in.
Yeah.
Believe it in. You're believing in the worst case scenario. Start believing in the best case scenario.
Like you would be surprised how quickly people. I was in a classroom, right, working, and a student sneezed. And I work with students on the spectrum, so these kids will sneeze in your face. They don't even realize they're supposed to like cover their nose, and they're like, "Achoo!" Just dead in your face, right? And this other teacher's like, oh my God, we're about to go to fall break, and I'm going to be sick. Oh my God. Well, I said, well, you've already claimed it.
That part. Yep.
And no, actually, she said, oh my God, we're going to be sick. I said, no, we're not. You're going to be sick. I said, dang, the boy sneezing. You done claimed pneumonia.
I know, right?
Jesus. I'm telling you, people will claim it. It happens that fast.
It does. It does. And don't even realize
You
it.
be like karate chop blocking people putting stuff on you all day. No, don't put that on me. That ain't us. We ain't no French in here.
That part.
You. You better start speaking Vietnamese or something. You. No, we.
Speak for yourself.
Speak for yourself. Hold your controller. Get your hands off of mine. It's a one-player game now.
That part.
Stay
That part.
Okay.
So we have another guest, Japanese cherry blossom. Hello.
That used to be my mama's favorite from Bath and Body Works.
Was it?
I'm an original cherry blossom girl, but that Japanese cherry blossom is kind of fire.
Okay. Are you there? I don't even know if she knows she's on the panel. I can hear her TV. She doesn't even know.
Did you mute her? Did she mute herself? Because she wasn't.
I just muted her.
Oh, okay.
I can hear the TV. Yeah. She may not know she's up here.
She might have stepped away, went to the restroom or something.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, Mr. Ronnie, how are you? Yep, it is so simple, and it's like we just got to keep telling ourselves that it's simple. Just the same energy we took to tell ourselves it was hard, use that same energy to tell yourself it's simple, it's easy. Keep telling yourself that manifestation is instant, right? Stop letting people tell you that, oh, it takes this. It's not about the process or, the steps that's going to bring it forth. The moment you asked, I answered, right? Every desire has its own time sequence. You just have to know it's already done. And when you know that it's already done, then time is not in the equation. Because if it's just like Christmas or a birthday present, right? Like, something is coming, or whenever someone has promised you something and you knew that their word was bond, and you knew it was that it was going to happen, that it was a done deal because they said so. Did it matter that they told you, oh, when you graduate college, you're getting this brand new car? Did it matter that your graduating college was going to be 4 years into the future? No. Only mattered that you were getting the car at the end. That's all that mattered. That's all that mattered. It didn't matter that it was going to take you 4 years to get the car. It only mattered that you're getting the car. You have to look at it that way when it comes to your desires. It doesn't matter when it shows up. It only matters that you know it's already yours. That's all. That's the only thing that matters. That, oh, this mine? Yeah. Yeah, just like, some people that are left an inheritance, right? And they're like, okay, when you reach 25, you're told at 15, when you turn 25, you got an inheritance. Does it matter that it's 10 years away? No. Only matters that you know that you have an inheritance. It does not matter that you have to wait 10 years to get it. The only thing you are certain of is that that is yours. That's it. That's what should be the focus, right? And now when you're now being 15, 18, 21, right? You're probably thinking about what you're going to do with the inheritance. Ooh, when I get the money, man, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to travel, I may go backpacking. Like, you may be making plans for the money, and then you get the money and you may not do none of those things you thought about at 21 because now you're 25. Same thing with some of you desiring, millions or billions of dollars, right? You saying, ooh, when I get the money, this is what I'm going to do with the money. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And then, and then you get the money and you don't do any of those things. Because it was never about the things that you wanted. It was the ability to have the option of it, right? And then you discovered that it was never about having the things. It was about your ability to get it. So I think that says, be careful what you wish for. That's too old for kids. By focusing on, so you said, how do I decide that I'm healthy when my condition is very serious? Kevin has a really good story regarding health. Kevin, you want to take that one? I also have one regarding my daughter as well, but that's second person. We'll let you hear from someone that's first person.
Yes, I have numerous stories about that, and I'll share. And this is before I was aware that that I had woken up like I am now. So this happened, I guess I was about 19 years old, 18, 19, something like that. And I was still living with my mom. And I remember she was dating this guy who was a physician. And on my left wrist was a lump. Not a huge lump, but it was noticeable. And it was on my wrist, on the top of my wrist, and it hurt my wrist. And guys, at least this guy is not very uh, apt to say, let me go to the doctor and get this checked out. We try to man up and say, oh, it'll be all right. But this thing was hurting. So when my mom's friend came over and I knew he was a doctor, I had him take a look at it. He said, oh, I know what that is. I was like, what? He said, it's called an ganglionic cyst. I said, wow. I had no idea what that was. I'm like, will I live? And I said, well, how do you fix it? He said, well, what they do, if they make an incision, and I said, oh, okay, we're already starting off on the wrong foot. They make an incision, a small incision, and they, take it out. And then they stitch you back up, and it's fixed. And he said, the worst case scenario, it'll leave a real ugly scar where the cyst used to be. I was like, man, I don't want that. So that same night, I went upstairs to my bedroom, and this is why meditation is important. And when I say meditation, I mean to focus in on your inner thoughts. That's what meditation is. And you ask and speak what you want internally. That's meditation. So I find myself praying to God, asking God to heal my wrist. Then I thanked him for healing my wrist. And then I climbed in the bed and went to sleep. And that I hadn't thought about it anymore. And I woke up in the morning, it was gone. Like Jesus said, thy faith hath made you whole. James Cleveland says, where's your faith? Because you have whatever you say you have. Your word will not return to your void. It has to come to pass. Whether you believe you have that condition and you're not going to get healed by it, that will be true. If you believe that you are healed by it, that will be true. It's not what Kevin believes, it's what you believe about you. What I think about you don't matter. It's what you believe about you. And when you understand that, you have understood manifestation in its entirety.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And my daughter, she was diagnosed with a incurable disease. She told she would be on medication for the rest of her life. Now, when she was a preteen, she did have the surgery to remove her thymus gland, but it wasn't to cure her. It was just to manage the disease, where she would stop going into I think they called it a crisis, where she would have to like be on she would have to get plasmapheresis, which is, it was this machine that would clean her plasma, or run her blood or her plasma through this machine to clean it, to get rid of all of the bad antibodies. And so that was like preteen or whatever. And the crisis was she couldn't walk, she couldn't swallow. Her, like her body just like, because it's a neurological disease. And so like all of her major organs will sometimes give out, like her breathing, her being able to chew, her eye would get lazy, her ability to walk was always that's what they would call a crisis. Well, when they had the thymus gland removed, that did help her going into crises, but she still would experience, not being able to chew sometime, her limbs still getting weak, her eyes getting lazy, or she couldn't see sometimes. And they told her that she would be on this medication for the rest of her life. Well, when she came to realize the power of the mind, and she recognized that her thoughts created this dis-ease, she recognized that her thoughts could heal her. So what she said she did is that she would still take the medication, but she would tell herself that she was healed because she understood it's not what she was doing, it was what she was saying. That the physical had nothing to do with what her reality was. Her reality was mental, and that the physical would catch up to the mental. As long as she remained faithful in her mind, then the outer would have to match the inner. And she said she doesn't know how long she did it for. Next thing she knows, she hasn't been taking medication for like, she may say longer. I say like 6 to 7 years. I think she may say longer than that. I don't know exactly how many years. She might have said 8 or 9 years. I don't really remember how many years it's been, because prior to that, they were also telling her that she was going to be that she was diagnosed with chronic arthritis. So that was going to be more medication. That would have to be another specialist that she would have to go see. And she's like, I'm just tired of going to the doctor. I'm tired of all this medication. And she just decided that she was healthy. This is what we mean by deciding that you're healthy. And the key to deciding that you're healthy is exactly what Kevin said, giving thanks for the healing, and you cannot focus on the symptoms. Since you're healed, you cannot talk about being sick, because a healthy person doesn't talk about symptoms or being sick. A healthy person sees themselves as healthy and only speaks of health.
You're so true, Toya. Another one was I woke up, I think I was in maybe 22 years old. I had just bought my first home, and I woke up in the morning, and my left knee was swollen. I hadn't bumped it, hit it, twisted it, or anything. I woke up and it was swollen, and it was so big through my pants leg. It looked like I had a wrap on it. You know how you wrap your knee? You can tell that's wrapped because it protrudes through your pants leg.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't have it wrapped, but
Oh, wow.
you can see it. It was so big, and it hurt so bad. It hurt to sit still and do nothing.
Oh, wow.
It hurt so bad. So during that time, I would faithfully go to church. Now, don't misconstrue this story to think that I'm saying you got to go join your local church. Please don't be that. Don't have that as your takeaway. I'm talking about what Jesus said. Thy faith have made you whole. Your faith. So it was hurting so bad. I was looking around. When I went to church, they asked, anybody want healing to come up and stand in the healing line. I'm like, okay, I want to be healed. So I hobbled up there in the line, and the preacher came by and prayed, laid hands and prayed for each one of us. And turned around, hobbled back to my seat. The whole week, my knee hurt so bad, I was almost in tears. And Sunday came around, and my wife at the time said, why don't you just go to the doctors? You keep going around here with your knee like that. I can see how much pain you're in. Why don't you go to the doctors? And I said, well, maybe I'll go Monday or Tuesday. It was late in the week, like a Saturday. I was in so much pain. And that morning I woke up, and I was getting dressed for church. And she's like, where are you going? I said, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to church. She said, you can barely stand. She said, what if somebody at church bumps into your knee? You end up saying a whole bunch of cuss words in church. And I said, well, I'm going to sit in the back where nobody can walk past me and make a mistake and bump into my knee. And she was like, whatever. So I've been playing the tambourine in church since I was 10 years old. So I really enjoy playing the tambourine. So I just wanted to sit in the back of the church to myself, and as they were singing songs, I wanted to play my tambourine to the songs. So I'm sitting there, sitting down by myself, to myself. I could hear the choir singing. I would play my tambourine. And was enjoying it so much, I wanted to stand up and play it. But my knee, I was like, man, I'm not going to be able to stand on this knee. I was like, forget this knee. You know, I said forget. I didn't say the F word in church.
Mm-hmm.
So I stood up, putting my bulk of my weight on my right leg. And I just played my tambourine to song and to where I felt I was playing it pleasing to God. The pastor stood up and told everybody to calm down and to essentially be quiet. And I'm like, what's going on? And he said, God just healed somebody of a knee condition. Who is it? And I looked down at my knee, my left knee, and it was normal.
Yes, yes, yes.
You're not going to be the one to break the law. Everything you say will come to pass, whether it's what you don't want or whether it's what you do want. You say it, it's coming to pass. No matter how small or how big you may think it is, it's coming to pass.
Yep.
And thy belief, as Jesus said, your belief made you whole. He said, I'm out of it. Don't
Yep.
give me the credit.
Yep. Somebody said it doesn't work for them. They were doing it for 10 years.
Well, that's true. That is right. It doesn't work for them. I can't argue that. We're saying the same thing. We're saying the same
You
thing.
made oh.
All I got to say is, well, damn.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't say it. I just tickled. Like they're exactly right. For them, it does not work. Like, oh my goodness. Because,
She might want to go back to church.
Someone asked me, so can you offset negativity with positivity? Let me answer this to the person who I can't, Zar resells. Let me ask you this. Can darkness and light exist in the same place at the same time? That's not rhetorical. Can darkness and light occupy the same space? Darkness and light can occupy the same space? It cannot.
she said shadows.
I'm not referring to the shadow. I'm referring to actual darkness, actual light. Right, Mia. Shadow is not darkness.
Right.
It cannot. It cannot. Light and darkness cannot occupy the same space. So how can we interpret positive overcoming or overshadowing negative? Nothing is negative until you assign negative as a meaning to that which you are experiencing. Nothing is positive until you assign a positive thought to that which you are experiencing. Who says it's negative? You say it's negative. Who says it's positive? You say it's positive. On both accounts, you're right. But you can't say one overtakes the other. They both have their own individual place in your belief. I don't know if that was the answer they're looking for. But if you give your energy to positively, you're going to reap a positively outcome. If you give your energy over to negative thinking or that what you assign negative, what you consider negative, that's the outcome. Even though all things work together for the good of them that love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. Everything's going to work out for your best anyway. No matter what happens, it's all working together for your good.
No, it's not. Can shadow and light exist in the same plane? It's can darkness and light exist in the same plane? A shadow is not darkness. That's what we've already said. He said, can darkness and light exist in the
Correct.
same space? If you're in a dark room and you turn on a light switch, does the darkness remain? Like, really? That's what we're saying. When you're in a dark place and the light is shone, does darkness remain when the light comes forth? No, it doesn't.
I'm not going back to elementary school. Like literally, they need to go to Google now. A shadow is blocked light. It's
Yeah, but
literally
under
just
the
go
bed,
ask
that means
Google.
the light is not in under the bed then. That means the bed is blocking the light. Because if you put a flashlight under the bed, does the under the bed continue to still be darkness? If you put a flashlight under the bed, you light a candle under the bed, does the bed continue to still be dark? No. It now has light.
Well, be honest. What is you trying to figure out with the question? Are you trying to get understanding or are you looking for confrontation? If you're looking for confrontation, you're on the wrong platform. If you're looking for understanding, you've come to the right place. But understanding works like a parachute. It only works when your mind is open. Your parachute is open.
um you say that's the point of what do you mean that's the point of a conversation? It's not to debate or argue, it's to get an understanding. He's asking you which one are you desiring? Are you desiring to be argumentative or are you desiring understanding? Because they're not the same. Arguing about shadows is pointless.
Not read the
Because
earlier
are
comment.
we talking about manifesting desired outcomes? That's what this platform is about. Manifesting your desired outcome and why you haven't manifested that desired outcome. What is keeping the desired outcome from coming into your experience? And we're going to tell you is your beliefs. You don't believe it can happen, and you're right. Or you believe it can happen, and you're right. At all times, you're right. Oh, okay, Za. Okay. Yeah, so why are we arguing over shadows then? Why are we talking about shadows when we're
Exactly.
talking about light and dark?
Exactly.
That darkness is the absence of light, is it not? Which means that cannot be a shadow then, because if darkness is the absence of light, then a shadow cannot be darkness.
Wow. That's that simple.
So, I don't.
There's no need to debate that. There's no need to bring in a shadow and anything else. It's that simple.
Yeah. Hello, Za. We can't hear you. You can unmute. Okay, fixing your mic. Okay.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
All right. So I didn't come here to be argumentative. That's one. I just want to get that out the way. I don't know what the comments is talking about, but that's not why I came.
Okay.
The point of me asking about can negativity offset, because that guy at the top brought up shadows and light. Because I said can negativity or positivity offset negativity, because we were talking about manifesting, and that's why I asked him. So it was never meant to be an argument. So I don't know where that came from.
Okay. No, we weren't. You weren't the only one commenting. Someone else brought up shadows when they were discussing could light and darkness occupy the same space. So when you said positive and negative is the same as saying light and dark. So can negativity trump positivity? And we're saying there's nothing positive or negative. Only thinking makes it so. You're saying that one exists, and could the other also? Can they both exist at the same time? Right? That's the question, right? Can they both exist at the same time? We're saying don't even come from that place. Come from the place of what you want.
Okay, now I get it. That's why I was asking to expand on what you guys were saying instead of trying to. I don't know where this was going. I'm like, I'm not trying to argue. I came here to understand what you meant. But then we
Okay.
talking about shadows, and then we talking about fucking light switches in the room. I'm like, well, where are we
But that's
going?
only because you're not the only one having the conversation.
Right.
And we were speaking to others' comments as well.
Yes.
No, it
It
was just
wasn't
people. It's
directed
not
so much.
specifically to you guys. There was people also in the comments that at me, and I'm like, well, what are you talking about? Like, you obviously didn't see my earlier comment.
Yeah. It's all
No,
good.
the
It's
only
all
reason
good.
me asking that was just to better my understanding of what you were trying to say. So I brought that into perspective because that's my train of thought right now.
Sure. I mean, I get it. And do you have a clearer understanding now? Because that's all that's important.
The last thing that she said, yes, I understand that. Don't think that way, and I get that point. But can we please get back to the shadows and light thing? Because space, right? The sun is a ball of light, right? Right?
Okay.
In a dark space. So don't they exist kind of at the same time? This is not the negative positive thing. I'm just trying to expand on what y'all saying. Like when y'all say shadows and lights can't, ex- like I don't understand what you mean by it can't exist in the same thing. I'm really not trying to be argumentative. I just want to
I'm gonna
expand.
take my belt off. Somebody say shadow again.
No,
I'm gonna take my belt off. Say
I
shadow
mean,
one more
because where
time.
you are, is it dark right now, Zai?
In the comments too. I'm gonna whoop y'all in the comments. Say shadow again.
Right. Zai, right
Yeah.
now. Right now, is it nighttime where you are?
yes,
Can you see the sun?
I can see the stars.
No, we said the sun.
the stars, right?
Can you see the big ball of sun that
Means somewhere
lights
in
the
this world,
day?
someone can
Can
see
you
the
see
sun.
that? Why you can't answer the question?
I can see the stars. That's technically
Can
the
you
sun.
see we want to talk about stars, we're talking about
No,
sun.
no, we were talking about darkness and light existing in the
But
same
you
world.
the one brought up the sun lighting the sky and existing with the darkness. Were you not?
Yeah, in
And
space,
so my
not on
question
Earth, not
is
on
it
Earth.
dark where you are and can you see the sun?
I could. All right,
No, you can't. So
I can't
why
see
are we
our solar.
struggling
I
with
can't see
this?
our sun. I'll say that. I can't see our sun, but I can see other suns in
But you
different
can't see
frequencies.
the sun, which is what you spoke to, because in the light sky, can you see stars in
Yes,
the light sky? When the sun is beaming bright or not beaming at all, maybe it's cloudy, are you able to see stars then?
you saying when the sun is beaming? No, because the light offsets the light that's further away. But if you were to ask me, did the sun cast a shadow on parts of the earth that it was not shining on? Then yes.
No, I asked what I asked. When it's night, can you see the sun?
Wait,
because
I'm the one
because
trying to argue.
because our scientists will have us say that the sun has set and is no longer in your part of the world up in the sky, is now beneath, right? It rises and then it sets, right? It goes up and it goes down, it goes up and it goes down. So when it's down, you can't see light, and when it's up,
You
you
can see
can.
light. You just can't see the sun, our sun. Wait, why you need belts, Mia? I'm confused.
Because I'm going on a whooping spree like the Tomb Raider. I need a belt in each hand
Wait,
to
H-Town
whoop
has.
everybody about this shadow.
Hey,
And you
hold
over
on.
here talking about there's two suns.
No, I'm not saying it's too.
Go to bed.
That's not what I said. I said the sun is a star, and there's plenty of stars in the sky. That's all.
Okay. I'm gonna put one belt up.
Yeah, but to me, this conversation is neither here nor there when we're talking about manifesting.
You're right. It didn't. I just was confused. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
It has, we're not talking about the physical light. We're talking about the light within and the darkness within.
Yeah. I get it. I got it. That's
Yeah.
why I said I understand what you meant once you explained it when I came up. I
Hmm.
just couldn't get past that one part that we was. I'm coming to the guys and the goddesses, man.
But to answer your question, I think positive energy repels negative energy. Like when negative people come up in here and we in here being positive and Toya up in here singing her little songs, if we don't pay the trolls no attention, they leave.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
It's a repellent. So
Okay.
that's why you don't match energy. You just be the positive energy that you are, and you're going to mirror that. So you're going to attract what you are.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Be the light, not the moth.
Thank you for that understanding. I don't know if
Yeah.
that was good, but thank you for understanding because I definitely understand much clearer now on what we were talking about.
That's good. As long as we get an understanding. All that get an understanding. I know some people don't like that word, but like, no, you need to understand. You need to overstand. Whatever.
Yeah, I get it. It's all the same to me.
Right. That's
Understand
what I said.
it's all
Potato, potato, tomato, tomato.
man.
Think about your light of positivity and think about roaches as negativity. Like when you go into somebody's house that's nasty and you cut on the kitchen light and all the roaches scatter, that's what the negativity do. And you being positive, they
What if I had
scatter.
roaches? Like, what if I had
They
roaches?
scatter like roaches when that light of positivity hit them.
Understood.
But
So,
you know that look, whatever helps you understand.
is this a consciousness panel or is this like how like I I seen some
Yes, it is
mind.
consciousness. Yes.
I kind of related that to consciousness. And I was like, maybe that's one and the same, but I didn't really get an answer from divination, so that's why I'm asking y'all.
Yes.
Thank
To
you.
answer your question. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely found my people. Finally.
Okay. You found your people. We your people. Welcome. We welcome you.
Finally.
Yes, welcome.
Do you guys have conversations like with like Christians and other religions and stuff like that?
Not anymore. I used to. It's unnecessary.
It's draining, isn't it?
I won't say it's draining. It's unproductive.
Yeah, it's very unproductive. But like, I be trying to like help people out. Like, how can you believe this wholeheartedly without like, questioning anything? I just don't understand.
I mean, I get it. I used to be in that space, so that's why I had to let it go. Been there, done that. And I just recognize like
No
it
divination.
comes from the place of you really don't know when you think someone else does. And when you've been trained to think that other people have the answer, that's what you're going to go to, other people. Right. And that's what we're told in our society. Now, some people go against the grain, they don't lean into conformity. Right. But most of society wants to feel a belonging. Right. And religion fulfills that space of belonging.
Can it not all exist at the same time with consciousness?
Can what not all exist at the same time?
So, from my understanding of consciousness, right, and
Mm-hmm.
manifestation, right, whatever you believe to be true is kind of what you manifest into your reality, right?
Mm-hmm.
So far, right? Okay, so
Yes.
if a whole bunch of people like believe in this certain God or believe in this certain religion. Does it not manifest that into their realities?
Oh, yes. That's why they fight devils and demons and Satan's on mine. I don't fight devils and demons and Satan's on mine.
You have very quick answers.
What'd you say?
You have very quick answers, but they're quick. They're with it. Like there's knowledge behind it. I can tell. So
Oh, thank you. But yes, we all are manifesting our belief system. That's why I say it doesn't matter what your affiliation, whether you're agnostic, atheist, religious, spiritual, if you identify with nothing. Here's the thing. We're all are using our minds.
no, listen. See, divination has it all wrong. I didn't lie on you. I said that you said mind science. I just was asking you after that, did it tie into consciousness? And then you kind of was talking to somebody else. I'm not saying that you didn't answer me at all. I don't know. You're in the comments. You're really like going in. I did not say that. I said that you said that. She said you lying on me. I'm sorry, sis. I'm sorry, Queen. I did not mean to lie. But I did say that you said mind science. I just wanted to connect it. Was that this one and the same as consciousness? That's all. I
Yeah,
didn't.
I did see her comment that she told you it was mind science. I guess maybe you've never heard what that means. Have you ever heard of the terminology mind science?
I mean, I just when I heard mind science, I heard consciousness. So that's why I just followed up with the question, like, consciousness, right? That's what you mean. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
give you a second answer, divination. I'm sorry. I make mistakes too. I'm sorry. Jeez.
She good. She good.
Didn't talk
She
about
just messing with you.
I know.
She's just messing with you.
I know we calling around here to have a good time. Fun time. I'm just glad I'm with my people. That's all.
Yep. Hey, 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 D Rich. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, we just like to talk manifestation. I'm out of the side of trying to figure out why people believe what they believe because people want a belonging, right? And it's just part of the journey back to self. And so we do. Some of us make pit stops in religion. Others make pit stops with promiscuity. Others make pit stops when going after different type of you know smugs and different things in search of self, right? Not saying there's anything wrong with having smacks with as many people as you want. That's your business, not mine. I'm not telling you not to do it. I'm just saying people will go to everything outside of themselves and the last place they'll seek or find is the power within them.
Yeah, and I
That's the
never
last
got
place
that.
they look.
I never got that just because even in the Bible, Jesus says to look within, and I never got like why so many people looked on the outside of them. And I also was going to ask, like, when did you start to have your sort of, I would call it awakening, but when did you start to fall out of the world's beliefs and into your own?
Yeah, well, I left Christianity almost 20 years ago. But my remembering started in 2018.
Said 2018.
Yes. Yep. But I left Christianity like almost 20 years ago.
Oh, so what were you doing in between those times? Just like trying to figure it out. You were like on a
Yeah, once I left Christianity, I wasn't like in search of like any. I'll say maybe a few years later, after I left, not going to church. I was a single mother, so my whole focus was okay. Let me figure out, what my next career path is, and believing in something outside of me was like on the back burner. I was more focused on getting my life together with my children and just trying to figure out a life path and all that. And then I was able to, because I was married at the time, I was married to a preacher. We got divorced, got myself together. Then I met my current husband, and then I went through like the atheist stage for about a moment, the Pan-African stage for a moment. And then I kind of just left it alone from like 2008 to 2016 or 2018. I was heavily into politics. So that's what I spent most of my time consuming was progressive talk radio or podcasts. And then when I discovered the law of attraction and the power of the mind, then I let politics go and I leaned, into self-discovery and recognizing that the power I was looking for is always within me.
Right on, yes, right on.
Yeah. You sound pretty young. How old were you?
I'm 21. I've been on this journey since like I would say 12.
Oh wow, good job. Love that. Man, meeting a lot of young people on this live. That is beautiful.
I just think the world is waking up to a lot of the bullshit that's going on around.
Yeah. But you'd be surprised. Sometimes I'll be surprised when I see how many Christians still, how many Christians it still is. Because I was watching one live and they always arguing about who's a real Christian. Oh, you a Protestant? That's not real. Are you Catholic? That's not real. Oh, you don't. You have to be Orthodox or certain, Catholic. They're arguing about who's the real Christian. I thought that was funny. I'm like, not they're arguing about who's really a Christian and who's a fake Christian. Okay. It's funny.
Very combative in their community, and they were taught not to judge, but they're the most judgmental people I've ever met in my life.
Amen, right there.
Anyone who doesn't follow their God is going to hell. I think that is a crazy thing for you to say if you're not God.
Crazy.
I think it's crazy. They say they're not God, but yet they got a heaven or hell to put you in.
That part.
They acting a lot like they God.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's no, like it's not everybody, right? Some Christians really do not see life that way. Everybody not condemning, so I don't even want to put everybody in the same box because it's so many different brands of Christianity. It's hard to like lump them all together.
It's a lot of them though. It's not everybody, but it's a lot of them. It's like majority.
The ones that come up in here.
Fewer that doesn't do all of the things that we said, then that does do what we said. I feel like it's definitely that's demonic to me. No one way.
Yeah, I have someone in the chat that went to a Christian. He did a speech at a church. D. Rich, how did your speech go? I know you went to deliver, your truth serum to the churches. Did they receive it well? And so we have Eunice. Hello, Eunice. How are you? Eunice, are you there? Maybe Eunice didn't mean to come up. I'm going to disconnect Eunice. Hey, A-Town. A-Town grooving over there, dude. A-Town know he up here.
down. Are you over there dirty whining and unmuting himself?
I muted him because I don't think he knows he's up here. He probably didn't mean to come up. Probably got the tapping.
This is the guy who always was saying at me. Like, I don't know why you keep at me. What you got to say, bro?
Yep, he just said, I didn't know, my bad. Say, take me down. All right, got you. Well, yeah, I mean, I know we think, getting our desired outcome is like it's some type of trick, and it's about, something doesn't want you to have your desire. There's nothing keeping your desire from you other than your beliefs about it. And I know people say, well, I've been believing it. It just didn't work, and it just didn't work. But you have to like search yourself out. Nobody knows the spirit of a man except the spirit of that man. Sometimes you have to be honest with yourself. Like, were you really truly accepting the reality of the new state? Or were you hoping that the new state, like your desire for a thing was going to trump your belief that it couldn't happen? See, I know people think that, oh, I don't have to really, really believe. I can just not really, I don't really have to believe and it'll still come. Because you hear people say, I didn't believe. And I say, not true. Because you talked about it, mean you believed it. You don't talk about things you don't accept as true. Whether it's something you want to experience or something you don't want to experience. The moment you give your attention to, you give it life, right? Some people, they don't realize that when they're desiring to manifest something, they have a tendency to speak its opposite. And they don't even realize that they're doing it, especially when it comes to health. Especially when it comes to health. People don't realize they focus on the symptoms, the disease, the problems. They're so concerned about how the body is feeling as opposed to what their mind is saying. And that's the double-mindedness where you're not going to get your desired outcome. It does take you focusing on what you want to see as opposed to what's happening.
So do you believe, right? Not believe, well, I guess you know. So does that outweigh, like, so if I believe without a shadow of a doubt that I'm going to be successful, this, and that, is there no other fates that can cut off what I believe because I'm transfiguring my reality? Or is that
Right. The only thing that aborts the mission is you. You abort the mission when you start talking against it. Because here's the thing, if you're saying that you're successful without a shadow of a doubt, your conversation is only going to be about success. You're never going to talk about what's going to happen if it doesn't happen. There is no plan B. There's only plan A. Because you know this is a thing. So you don't talk about anything else other than that. The moment you start giving your attention to something other than the successful outcome that you know, just shows you that you really don't know it. You're just saying it.
Yeah, I was just asking that because when I see people like in the city that I live, it's always people, with potential that end up meeting their demise way earlier than, expected. And I feel like they believed that they were going to be in a certain area in a certain part of life and they had that cut short by someone else. Like,
Well, nothing is cutting someone else short. They wrote that into their script.
what do you mean? Can you expand on that?
So like you hear people that like we'll take some celebrities that we may say departed too soon, right? Like a Kobe Bryant or the one that played the Black Panther, right? But if you do a little bit more listening to some of their videos, some of their interviews, oh, you can see what they actually thought about life just through listening to them. Like some people said that Kobe was afraid of flying, that he thought something would happen flying.
Right.
How did he transition? I mean,
My fault. I muted myself. Yeah, helicopter crash. My fault. I don't know. My mic be coming in and out. I'm
Oh,
not.
that's okay. That's okay. I mean, you could just anyone, like any people that have ended up, in a bad position where they ended up in jail or behind, right? And you listen to some of their lyrics or some of their interviews. You're like, oh, yeah. People think it's all fun and games until it becomes their reality. That's why Snoop Dogg said he had to change the way he rapped, what he rapped about, because he rapped murder was the case that they gave me. Then he gonna trial for murder? Biggie, right? Was it Biggie or was it Tupac? Ready to Die? Someone of them hit the Ready to Die as one of their.
That was the album that came out after he died, that Puff put out.
But he made it probably when he was live, so
Right. It might have came out afterwards, right?
But the title of it came out after.
Well, we don't know when the title was given.
Not the 21-year-old trying to correct us.
I'm just saying we don't know when the title. What was the lyrics about?
Right.
Right. What was he rapping about? Being ready.
Even like Tupac.
Yeah. Machiavelli, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, people don't realize they're speaking their life into existence.
Absolutely.
And the thing is, you don't get to say how that shows up or when it shows up.
That's true.
That's why you got to just pay so much attention.
Well, that's why, like, gangster rap and that whole lifestyle manifested itself. Because people weren't doing like that lifestyle as a mainstream lifestyle for most people wasn't a lifestyle until that point. It wasn't mainstream and it became a commercialized lifestyle.
Yeah. And then look at J. Cole when they was having that beef with, it was Kendrick and Drake. What did J. Cole do? He bowed out. Because if you listen to his interviews, he knows
they try to
about your thoughts, your speech, creating the reality, right? Because he was, I've seen his videos and say, whatever you're desiring, think bigger than that, and then think bigger than that, right? And he's like, look, I saw myself here. I spoke this thing into existence, and so he caught himself with that beef and took himself out of the equation.
Yeah. He didn't want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do.
Yep. Some of them forget, right? Divination. They may be aware, but some of them forget.
Yeah, they know.
They know, but some of them forget, right? They forget what seeds they're planting, right? And some of us forget that our thoughts are creative. That's why I say, so when you find yourself experiencing the very thing you don't want, instead of complaining and condemning, just change it. Just change it. That's the power you have to revise the unwanted. You don't have to accept it because your complaining just makes it firm. And that you don't want to make it firm in your reality. You actually want it to change.
So, host, do you think that astral projection is a real thing?
Yeah, people say they're experiencing. I mean, I haven't personally did. My husband even said he's done it. So, I know we astral project every time we go to sleep, but have I done it consciously? No. But every time you go to sleep and you dream, that's astral projection, right?
So, in your saying, is that different dimension? Do you believe that we're multi-dimensional beings?
Yes.
Oh, look at you! I really have found my people.
Yep. All things exist now. It's just about where you're focused. So whatever you're desiring already exists, but are you focused there? A lot of times people are focused on what they don't have as opposed to what they do want. And that's why they can't see it. And they're looking for the 3D to confirm. No, you confirm the 3D. The 3D does not confirm you. And that's where people get tripped up.
Say that again for the people in the
Yup.
back.
Yup. For the people in the back. People in the back.
You confirm the 3D. The 3D does not confirm you.
I like the live after that one. Hold on, let me like this, you know. So, do you have any thoughts on the government trying to push an alien invasion or the 3i Atlas thing? Do you
No,
have any thoughts on that?
no, I don't care. Government just means what? What does government mean? What does government mean?
Mind control.
Control your
Government.
own damn mind. I am the government.
I didn't even know that was happening. I'm that detached.
I am the government.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm
I
just here.
govern my mind, and I choose not to even be aware.
Yep.
That's my choice as well. But I can't not see it. So
Oh,
it's
I
like that's
can. I had no
I
idea, so
can.
you just told me.
I had no idea that was. I had no idea that was happening until you said
Now
that.
I know, but I
I'm
kind of really
sorry.
don't even
I'm
know what you're talking
sorry.
about, and I really don't want to know. You don't have to go
I
into no
don't want
more
to know. Please
detail.
don't. Yeah,
You
please
gotta
don't
go
put
into
it
no
on
more
my
detail
algorithm. I
because
do
I don't
not
watch the
care.
news. I don't watch the news.
Me either. I actually don't need to know who got schmurdered in
Right?
Utah. I don't watch the news. Mm-mm.
Because here's my thing: if you're the creator of your own reality, why not create your own reality? Why do you give your energy to a reality they're creating, which is none of your business? What they're doing ain't
Exactly.
none of my business. I don't care what they're doing with aliens and all. What aliens?
The TV and social media is literally there to influence your algorithm, your reality, and what you feel like the world is experiencing in your world.
I agree.
So by detaching and controlling your spiritual algorithm, you can kind of create your own world.
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm.
Yeah, they don't need anybody to teach them how to manifest.
That part.
Oh, you've been doing it for a minute, huh? That's what you saying?
Everyone's doing it.
It's the new craze.
I mean, perspective, you think someone's evil, everything they do is going to be evil.
Yep.
Yeah.
Trump
Yep.
could give us reparations and they ain't going to take it. Let me give your
Yep.
check.
Yep.
Let me get your check.
Girl, who are you telling? Because
Give
whatever
me
they
your
do is
check,
gonna
man.
benefit me.
Wait, yo,
Look,
this
I
thing.
ain't that mad at nobody I ain't never met.
Girl, he just playing a character. Don't you get it? Like, don't think
Look,
he's just playing a
Miss
role
Toya,
that they gave him. He's
Miss
playing a
Toya, we were
character in
there
their
in the
illusion.
80s. We were there in the 80s, Miss Toya, when all the civil rights activists loved him and he sat at all the civil rights
Yeah, he
activist
was a
tables.
Democrat until he ran for president, and he
Thank
said that
you.
he
He
would
was
be
on,
if he
thank
ran for
you.
president, he would run as a Republican. He
I
told
was
y'all that, but
there.
before he ran for president, he was a Democrat. He
Thank you.
ran with Bill Clinton and them.
He was very loved by the black people. I was there, grew up, born
Everybody
in the
went to
80s, grew up
yeah.
in the 90s.
Everybody loved Trump Towers and all of that.
Thank you.
What
He
was
was
it?
on
The
every black
Apprentice
sitcom.
when he was on The Apprentice. Yep, he was
Yep.
on. Yeah,
He was on every black sitcom. He
yep.
was mentioned on every rap CD. Everybody up like Donald. Everybody loved Donald Trump. Big on Sex and the City was made after Donald Trump. Big's character on Sex and the City was created after Donald Trump's Trump.
He
Get
even
off
had a
of
cameo in that show.
Yes,
Yep.
because Big is supposed to be Donald Trump.
Oh wow, I didn't know
That's
that.
why they never
Okay.
gave him a name because he's supposed to be like Donald Trump. He's a big, tall guy, businessman, owns lots. That's who he's supposed to be. They not fooling me. I watched Celebrity Apprentice. He was very likable. You know, I'm just like, damn. When did we start hating Donald Trump? Because I was there. I was there. That's what I'm just like. Y'all ain't pulling the wool over my eyes. I was there. I tell you, you let the media tell you anything.
Yeah,
yeah.
I had no idea about Donald Trump. I was there during the 80s and 70s.
Yeah.
I had no idea about Donald Trump one way or the other. That he didn't exist in my realm, in my reality. No energy went towards it. I knew he was part of The Apprentice, but I never even watched the show. It's just my attention was never over there.
Yeah.
So
You don't
the
become a racist when you're 75. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm a data point kind of girl. And if you one thing, you're gonna be one thing. You're gonna always be one thing. That's all I'm gonna say, and we can move on out politics. I know we don't like to get to those subjects, but that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So to me, you don't
I
think
really don't care. I don't even know nothing.
to
We
me
have a
Right.
president.
you don't think change is possible?
You say what?
You don't think change is possible?
Change
Yes.
the world?
No,
No.
not the world. No, no, not the world. Not the world. Just change. Just exactly what I said. It's not like trick question.
I can change me.
So,
Mia can change. That's the
but
only
not that.
person that can change is me. And-
Uh,
yeah. And guess what? I change behavior for a living. But guess what? Do you know what the key to changing human behavior is?
and why you?
Changing yours. So when I go into classrooms and I change behavior of students, the first thing I tell the teachers and everyone in the classroom, you're the environment. The key to changing this kid's behavior is changing yours. I don't change people's behavior. I change mine.
Yes.
You can't control nobody but yours. People respond to you. People are a mirror. So as a behavior analyst, I change behavior modification is what I do, but I do it by changing my behavior.
What do you guys think happens after you physically die? Unalive. Sorry, TikTok purposes.
I didn't hear the first part.
What do you guys think happens after transitioning?
Oh, I don't care.
The same thing that happened before I got here. I don't remember. I don't know.
So do you do believe that you were always here though, like as an energy?
Yeah.
I didn't have, okay, so because I'm a baby sister, I know that I had an existence before I had an awareness, right? So
Mm-hmm.
like I lived for some years before I had an awareness that I was around, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Wait,
awareness is like the social awareness of the social world. And I think that the unlock of social awareness is when life becomes transactional and then you are forced to cater to the social world. Because when you're a baby and you can pee and poop when you want and the world's going to cater to you, when people are going to come feed you, when you're not forced to tell people when you got to pee and poop, right? And you got to go do them, because that's when contingency and transaction starts. Terrible twos. That's why twos are terrible, because that's when domestication and control starts.
oh, oh,
So
Yeah.
that's why twos are terrible. 2 year olds are pissed off because they're gods and they're divine, and here comes these other people trying to force me to do stuff and take control of me. And I'm
wait. So
pissed off about it.
what about safety though? Like, if the 2-year-old thinks like maybe they can fly or something, should I just let my 2-year-old think he can fly
Let
and
me
jump
tell
off?
you, I'm gonna tell you something that'll blow your mind. I work with children on the spectrum who jump off of things, who climb things, who do reckless things all day, every day, who run around and have no awareness. They don't care. You want to know what? They barely, rarely, ever have any broken bones, bruises, scratches, nothing. You know why? Because they don't have fear, because they're God.
Understood. I'll just
So,
ask him.
so children, so that's why small children in general do things without fear. That's why they feel like they can be anything, they can do anything, and they don't want you to tell them anything.
Is that why they heal so fast? Also,
Why they what?
it's like stem cells and stuff like that. But is that also why they heal faster than grown
I
adults?
mean, possibly it's probably protective, but generally, children are gods. So terrible twos are terrible because we're trying to control someone who doesn't want to be controlled. And then life becomes transactional into the social world. And now you got to come to me for approval and praise and reward and punishment and reinforcement. And mommy and daddy are only happy with you when you listen to them and do what they say.
So, what would be your advice? Because I'm listening. I actually agree with this long before, and I've had arguments like with my parents about it, just because I've seen earlier that they try to control me with their beliefs and how they moved in life, and they weren't very successful. So, like, I seen early that that's probably not the things that I want to do or follow after. And no shade, I just want to be better. But I kind of seen that early. So, what would be your advice? Because I always said that I would let my kids figure it out on their own for the most part. Like,
You should. I think that I don't have children, but in general, like the children I work with, and if I had my own, I believe that we teach children to a fault. We're like trying to make mini me's, and no other species does that. You let people find their own way and find their own truth and be their own person. But that's why we are like 25 years old and then we break away and find our own person sometimes when we're 25, 30, 40 years old because we've been under the thumb of our parents and we kind of foreclose on their beliefs and everything instead of finding our own when no other species does that. A bird, you know what a bird does to their baby bird? Kick your behind out that nest and you better use them wings. You either gonna die or fly. You either die or fly.
You better figure it out.
You're going to figure it out, right? But that's how you do life, right? You have to figure it out and find your truth. And that's how you find God and your spirituality. You have to get to that point and figure it out. But we're not made to figure it out, right? You go to school and someone tells you, oh, first thing, you're conscious now. You understand me? Well, first thing I'm going to let you know is that you're a sinner and you're going to go to hell. So let's dunk you and baptize you. Make sure you don't go to hell, right? And we're going to start domesticating you and make you want to play with others. And then as soon as we tell you you got to play with others because your imaginary friend isn't good enough, then your friend tells you you're ugly and now your feelings are hurt. You know, it's just a whole trail of losing yourself.
Yep.
You know, so I would just say let people be. Of course, make sure your children are safe, but not fearful of themselves. Make children trust themselves. Make children affirmed in knowing who they are and not seeking validation. Let them know that I am amazing. Teach them to affirm themselves. You know, telling your child you're so beautiful and you're so smart is great, but they need to know I am smart. I am capable. I am strong. I am powerful versus you are, because then things only matter when someone else tells me.
Yes, man.
You
hit
know,
it.
so
Nail on the head, man. Listen, that was some of the greatest advice I ever had.
so I like working with children on the spectrum because they get it. And it's fun. It's I deal with the tantrums and it's funny, but it's just like I get it, you little God. I know what you're doing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because I started to notice like children, like even from infants, like I have a newborn, they learn to be like, I don't know if this is natural, but they kind of manipulate you, like in a way.
A newborn smarter than we give them credit for. A
Yeah, that's
newborn, a
why.
cat, a dog, all these things are freer than us. We over here going to work, paying tolls on the freeway, and animals are over here chilling on the couch waiting for us to get home to feed them and pet them. They don't pay no bills. I swear my house cats, they be chilling. So they're smart. They get all their needs met and don't even have to talk to us.
Yep.
So yeah.
But that's how we're supposed to know that our needs are already met too.
Yeah.
We because we are sentient beings, we are sovereign beings, because we have autonomy.
Yes,
We
man.
get to construct the reality in which we found ourselves in.
Yeah.
And we get to reconstruct it.
How
It
do
was
I?
part of the fall into duality and is seeing yourself other than who you truly are. And so as you go through this maze, this matrix, this web of lies, for lack of a better word, right?
I believe society makes it a lot harder for us as well. Like I feel like if we all were able to figure it out, like she said, on our own, it would be much easier. But society,
That
like,
wasn't part of the play. The
hell,
part
what
of the movie was to convince yourself was that you weren't who you are. You came to forget that you were God. That was the whole purpose.
by play you mean like on the same line that this world is a stage type
Yes.
thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got you. We connected. We connected.
Yep. It's part of the illusion. The state of forgetfulness was to feed the illusion of separateness. So there is no they, it's all you. This is your construct. You constructed this masterpiece.
Said I love it here.
Yes, yes, yes. Yep. But
The end of your story is revelation to be revealed.
yep. But it's been 3 hours, y'all. So we're gonna end the 3 hour tour. The 3 hour tour.
I came during this time that I came. It was a pleasure talking to you guys.
Yes, pleasure as well. Thank you for joining us.
Yes,
Thank
good
you
morning. It
guys.
was a
Joining.
pleasure.
Thank you for your input.
Yes, definitely.
Thank
All
you
right,
guys.
guys. You have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful evening. Good night. Good night. Catch you on the other side.
Good night,
Bye-bye.
everyone. Night.
Good night.